Hi guys, I'm Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Heavyweight Fighter Mark Godbeer, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell's Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Throw up the deuces. There you go, baby.
What's up, boys and girls? Good evening and good afternoon. Welcome to Cage Side with Christopher James. It's Monday, and it's a championship Monday because I got two champs in the house tonight. Oh my goodness, man. It's going to be a big show, big night. Before I bring in my first guest, who is standing by in the green room, I see you, champ. I see you, champ. We got just to flex it up. That's right, champ. I just want to give a shout out to the GOAT of featherweights in the UFC, Jose Aldo. He retired. I announced that he was going to retire after his last fight, and it kind of got swept under the rug, but it's official. He has retired, and that's okay because he's the champ. He's always going to be a champ. You can't take that away from him. And, I'm excited to see what's next for him. I think he's going to go over to boxing, and that'll be interesting as well to see because he always wanted to just do boxing. I don't know how he's going to box with those leg kicks that he does, but he'll figure it out. Good UFC card this past weekend. Good stuff. Corey Sandhagen takes out Song Yadong, ended it with a cut. That kind of sucked, but that's the way it goes. Don't forget, we got Island Fights coming up this weekend. Island Fight 74 live at the Pensacola Bay Center. I will be there live, ring announcing the event. 74, that's a big number, man. That's a lot of shows. It's going to be live, like I said, from the Pensacola Bay Center this Saturday night, September 24th. I hope you guys make it to the arena. Tickets are still available. And if you can't make it to Pensacola, which I don't see why you shouldn't make it to Pensacola, but if you can't, check out the Island Fights Facebook page and you could stream it live. Now, we are going to get the show started with a champion, somebody that I have the utmost respect for. This fighter goes out there and puts it on every single time she steps into the squared circle, and she's 6-1, and she is the reigning, defending, undisputed 125-pound champion at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. So we're going to bring her in right now, and ladies and gentlemen, please say hello and welcome, because the champ is here tonight. This is the one and only Christine, the Bare Knuckle Misfit, Ferea. What's up, champ?
What up?
What's up? How you living today, girl?
Chilling.
Chilling. You look like
Great.
you're chilling in the car,
Living
taking
life,
a break,
happy,
a work break or something.
successful. Yeah, I do lift in between my fights and stuff. I like money.
Speaking of money, since you brought it up, for the first time since BKFC has been around, there was an article shared about the purses from Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship in New Mexico, where you defended your belt. And I was looking at some of the fees that you guys got. I think yours was listed at $22,500. John Dodson got $75,000. So, and I'm not asking you this to get you in trouble or start shit with you and BKFC, but are you happy with what you made?
Of course I'm happy.
You think it's a fair number right now for you?
That's what they think, right?
Yeah, well, I'm just asking you. Like I said, I'm not trying to stir up any shit here. I'm not Planet Hank. I'm not trying to stir shit up.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't be on your show if you were him.
No, I love Planet Hank. He does, even though he stirs some shit up sometimes, he does bring up some interesting topics, and you gotta listen to some of the stuff he says sometimes. But anyway, so and while I'm asking you this question, I am going to be sharing this out to a bunch of groups. So if I'm not looking right at you, I'm still listening.
That's fine.
But just after you win a fight, you go home. Obviously you defended your belt. What's the post-fight post-fight week? Like what goes on for you? I know you like to go see your team and your people and,
Yeah.
show them the belt, but just give us a little insight what you do a week after the fight rather than a week before.
The week after, I'm just being free, just eating what I want at what times I want it, just relaxing my brain, like coming down from, the constant, like thinking about that opponent for months or weeks at a time. So I just relax myself and try to unwind a little bit.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
unwinding for you? What do you do to unwind? Do you just like sit at home and play with pets, or do you play video games? Everybody's got their little thing.
I, I, yeah, I love my pets. I'll chill with my pets. I'll go out for some drinks with some friends that I never get to hang out with, or go visit family, and go party with them, or nothing really extravagant, except after this fight it was my birthday, so I got to go chill with Mayweather.
Oh, did
Yeah, and so
you
that
guys
was
hit the
pretty
strip
dope.
club?
Yeah, we hit the strip club, and then we hit another little it's called Splash out here. It was dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go to the party and you go out on a party at a strip club night with Floyd Mayweather, do you get to spend his money or do you got to spend your own?
Nah, I was just being next to him. I was like, wow, this is the man right here. I don't even care about money. This is the man.
But does he break out some bands for you to tip the girls with, where you be like, shh?
Nah. He was doing his tipping. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my tipping, but he's doing his own. He's over there tipping the girls and taking care of them. But man, he's pretty dope. I study him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you like? What do you like most when you what do you pick up most when you study Floyd? What's the thing that really stands
Counters.
out in your brain?
Counters. I love his
Yeah.
counter work. Oh yeah, his counter work is unbelievable. I mean, I don't have his speed, but I don't need his speed for who I fight.
No, he's the greatest counter puncher in boxing
Oh,
history, in my opinion.
he's sick.
That's why he's
Yeah.
undefeated. You hit and you don't get hit. That's the game plan. So,
Right. He's dope.
yeah, no, he's crazy good, man. I mean, you watch this guy, and you're just like, and I remember when he was going to fight Conor McGregor, and a lot of MMA fans said, "Oh, he's going to beat, Conor's going to beat him." And
Oh my
listen,
God,
I'm an
that was
MMA
so
fan.
ridiculous.
I am more of an MMA fan these days than a boxing fan, but I'm still an aficionado to some degree in boxing, and I understand that MMA boxing and
There's no
professional
comparison.
boxing are two different things. And but I did say that Conor will be able to hit Floyd, and he did. He tagged him one time really good, and Floyd woke up, and then Floyd said, "All
I
right, I'm
think
done
he
playing."
hit him because he let him. Because he had to let him hit him in order to have a show. I guarantee you that guy, if he did not want to be touched by Conor McGregor, he would not have been touched. That's my opinion.
Well, I can't say if that's true or not true, but I do totally
I know
understand
we'll
where
never
you're
know.
coming from.
We'll never know.
Yeah, because we'll never know. But he did tag him once, and I don't think Floyd liked it because after he got
I remember
tagged the
that
one
hit.
time, then he didn't get hit the rest of the night. He just was like, "All right,
Right?
fuck you, motherfucker."
Right?
So that's what makes me believe that he didn't expect that one shot. But and had they been wearing MMA gloves, that fight, had he tagged him with an MMA glove, I think that might have been a little more painful for Floyd. So and then he fought didn't he fight one of the Paul brothers? He fought Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
Yeah. I don't know which one, but
He
I don't
fought
pay
one of those
attention when he
dudes.
fights those guys. I don't
Yeah,
pay
what do you
attention unless they're real. I mean, I pay attention when it's like a high level fight,
what do you think of him fighting a guy like that?
I mean, he's just doing it for entertainment now. You know what I'm saying? It's an entertainment business. That's what I've came to understand in my later age. Like I used to be like, oh, it's honor, it's all this, but this game is an entertainment business. It's about money, it's about numbers. So,
And it's still
I ain't
about
hating on
honor.
him.
No, you definitely can't hate them. And it's still about honor because there are fighters like yourself, while you're out there to entertain and put on a show and make your money,
Yeah.
Christine Ferea is also out there to kick your ass.
Oh no, yeah, by far. I can't. I have to. I can't. I have to do that because these guys ain't gonna put me on the show if I'm not doing that.
No doubt about it.
I'm not out there flashing my ass and doing all that little shit. So I have to really know how to fight.
Well, by the way, what'd you think of that girl in BKFC Thailand flashing out the titties? They look nice from where I was sitting. I'm just gonna say it.
I mean, do what you got to do, girl. Get your money. Get your money, baby girl.
Up. Get your money up, girl.
Get your money, baby girl. That I know. She used to train. I used to train with her over at Extreme Couture when she first stopped her lingerie football stuff.
Football.
Yeah. So I mean, I know her. So I mean, get your money. Do what you got to do. She's trying to make a name for herself. If that's how you do it, and you're okay with that, then you do that, girl.
And you know what's funny? She didn't need to do that because she had a first round finish and it was a TKO.
Right.
I mean, she put in some work and she put on a great performance. And here I am watching, and I'm watching the show, and all of a sudden, I was like, whoa.
But only one titty came out, right?
Only one titty came out. It was the left titty because she went.
I think she only got paid for half that. Hey, Pimp Daddy said, nah, you only get paid half.
Yeah, you only get paid half, and it's funny because, as a promoter, you don't want that, but you absolutely will milk the shit out of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't
absolutely.
think, David Feldman wanted that to happen, but
yeah, no, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure he's happy it did.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure.
And before we get into your fight and what's going on with you, one of your foes, somebody you've stepped in with twice, Britton Beltran, formerly Britton Hart, now she's Britton Hart Beltran. She went down to 115 and she became a champion at 115. Give me your thoughts on them finally opening up that 115 weight class and your thoughts on Britton Beltran.
You want honesty?
Honestly.
Thoughts on her?
Yeah.
Athletically or personally?
Whichever one. You can give both, or you can give just one. It's up to you.
So the 115 division is I'm glad they're opening it. There's a lot of good girls at 115. They're fast, they're explosive. It's great, and my homie Jenny Savage is down there. She's gonna go up and take that belt from old girl eventually. Whenever she takes the fight, I guess she says she has to earn it. My thoughts on Britton. She got her title, her fourth try at getting a title, and that's good. She did it. She's she did her best. The 125 division went down, accomplished what she went out to accomplish, and she's a champion now. So I mean, I don't like her personally. She runs her mouth too much, but I'm not hating on her. I'm not a hater like she is.
And you brought up Jenny Savage, and Jenny Savage definitely wants that fight, but I know they fought once before. Britton's got a nod over her. So in my opinion, I think Jenny does have to go out there and get a win against another 115 girl that's legit. And if she does that, then she absolutely deserves another shot. I mean, Britton worked her way back to a shot with you. So it's definitely doable, and definitely a fight I would watch.
If you technically think about it, I mean, she gets handed a lot. She gets like 4 title shots, bro. Come on.
Yeah, she's had a few. She's had a few.
Come on. I mean, but anyway, if whatever they do, however, I think it would be great for Jenny to have another fight as well. I mean, I think it would be fine for her to go for it now, but if they need to give her another one, that just gives her more time to get ready, and I'll be helping her.
Yeah, that definitely be helping her. So,
no, I'll be helping her. I'll be sparring with her.
I heard you say it. I heard what you say. You're going to help her go in there, and if anybody can give her some valuable information and experience to take on Britton Beltran, it's definitely you. You've danced with her a couple of times, and on a professional level. You know, I agree with you. Britain, you know, works hard. I mean, you know, she has gotten a lot of fights, and you know, she has had opportunities definitely given to her. But the girl does work. She does take fights. I think she's got more fights than a lot of people over the last couple of years. You know, because she's willing to step in and fight. You know,
I think
there
a
was a
lot of
time,
people are willing to step in.
yeah, like Tom Schoaf.
I
Where the
think a
fuck is
lot of
Tom
people are willing to
Schoaf?
step. Tom Show, where you at, bro?
We need Tom
Tom
Schoaf on a
Show,
card.
we need you. We do need you,
We
Tom.
do. We need Tom. You know, there was a time where you were like, you weren't there for a little while. Like, you know, it took a while
I had
for you to
shoulder
get back
surgery.
in there.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, as a fan of the sport, I was very sad and disappointed that we didn't get to see more of you, because legitimately right now, you should probably have 3 to 4 more fights on your BKFC record. You know, 3-4 more wins.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
there was, you know, I guess the. Oh, don't be making fun of my beard, Elvin. My beard was looking sexy, champ.
They sat me out for a little while, and you know, I think they were letting the girls get more experience. You know, there's a lot of people that won't fight me. There's people that want to fight me but don't deserve to fight me. I want big names right now. I deserve big names. I have a few more years in me that I'm going to be elite and on top of my game. I'm retiring with this belt eventually, and I want some really, 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 really tough competition with some numbers behind them. So if
It,
they want my numbers, I'm super marketable. I have, I'm not given opportunities to grow. I feel like,
do you,
and the more I get put on, the more people love me. The more that people see me like, where are you at? Damn, I haven't seen you. It's because I'm not getting the right opportunities, and I'm not going to fight nobodies or no names anymore. I'm done because I'm doing all this work. I'm helping build the sport and doing all this shit. I'm the world champion, and I deserve to get that now. And I am going to ask for that.
and you should, rightfully so. But you know, you said you want big names and big, you know, good money paydays. You know, and when you say good money pay, you know, it's funny because when you say a good money payday, based on what I asked you at the beginning of the show, that, you know, are you happy with what you made, and you were happy with what you made. So it doesn't seem to me like you're asking for, you know, 6-figure paydays and saying, I'm not going to fight unless I get this. You're being
I'm not.
reasonable with them.
Absolutely. You have to be reasonable. This is a growing company. This is the thing. Like, I've been here since the beginning. When I committed to this company and I committed to my bare knuckle career, I have to understand where I'm at and where I was when I was at BKFC 2. I was supposed to be on BKFC 2. I had a fight lined up. The girl backed out. 2 of them, or one of them, there was she had a suspension. The first one, she disappeared. The second one, you know, so I know that where it is in its infancy, you know, so I have to be understanding of that, and so do other people, you know. I mean, they're paying these UFC guy names, but look, they have the UFC following, you know, so I understand that part too. So I need opportunities to fight bigger names so I can get my following up, and I think I deserve that. I'm loyal to the company. I am here. I promote. I market myself. I tell everybody about BKFC, and it's the best bare knuckle promotion in the world, and it's the most prestigious. It has the best athletes. It has the best production. Everything about it is the best, from
No doubt.
the bottom to the top. So I'm gonna stand here as the world champion and continue to represent it and be an elite athlete and beat the shit out of people and be exciting, and uh yeah, that's it.
You know, and you say you want big names, but who are the big names? Because at this point, I don't
I
know if
want
there's any
Amanda
big names.
Serrano's. I want Amanda Serrano. I want
Do you
you
think
know,
she'll come over to Bare Knuckle?
I talked to her on Twitter a few years ago. I called her out and she's like, show me the money. She answered back, show me the money. So
Okay.
I mean, they need to put the money into that, you know. I think she
All
would
right.
come over for the right price. Jake Paul,
Right.
let's go, baby. You know,
All right.
so
So Nate Shook and David Feldman, if you're watching, Let's reach out to Amanda Serrano and get this fight for your champion, man. Give your champion the opportunity to show herself.
Yes, please. And I want a fight with her in bare knuckle and a fight with boxing. So when she comes to bare knuckle, she's not gonna get it. She's gonna get worked. And I go to boxing, and we'll find out what happens there.
Amen.
You know,
I like it.
I'm very confident. I'm confident in that fight in bare knuckle for sure.
I like the whole idea of it and doing, one in bare knuckle and one in regular boxing.
Right.
No gloves,
and
then you put on the 10-ounce.
Yeah.
What now?
She can get her payback, or if I fight boxing first, then I'll get my payback.
There
if
you
I
go.
Lost,
I like it. But I mean, other than that, I mean, who's out there right now for you to fight? That's already in the company, in the division. I mean,
I don't even know who these girls are. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, obviously, the big name at 125. Even though you're the champion, there's girls out there that have a bigger following you, like Paige Van Zandt, for example. I don't think that would be.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be a good fight for Paige, but
no.
I think it would be a good fight for you because it would elevate you against a big name, and you're looking for big names.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense for her.
No, it doesn't make sense for her at all. It doesn't make sense for. In reality, it doesn't make sense for you except for the name value she brings. And I'm not saying that to bag on Paige Van Zandt because I respect anybody that'll walk into that ring and take off their gloves and go toe to toe with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I'm not fucking stupid. and I outweigh you by 100 pounds, and I still no fucking way. Be like, ladies and gentlemen, a ring announcer dies in bare knuckle fighting. Film at 11. I mean, that would be the end of my life right there. So I know my role.
Yeah.
So let's talk about now. This is why I waited till this time of the show because we have a few minutes left. Your fight, the lead up to taking on Taylor Starling. It really wasn't much of a fight. There's not a lot to talk about as far as the actual content of the fight. I mean, 40 seconds in, and she was, and it was probably 15 seconds longer than it should have been because she faced away from the ring, and to her corner and said, "I'm done. I can't do this." And then the referee brought her back out to take a few more shots from you, which obviously you obliged. Fight's on. I'm going to fight you. But give me your thoughts on the whole fight. I mean, because the lead up, she stole your belt. Some people think that was staged. I don't know if it was or it wasn't. Like some people think, she staged that, she planned that, she went to you and she planned that out. I don't know if she did or she didn't. Honestly, I don't care if she did or she didn't. I mean, this is about selling fights. Like you said, this is a business, it's entertainment. So, but give me your thoughts on the whole lead up to the fight, because she talked some smack, and then she got smacked.
Yeah, so I mean, all the stuff that was going on is legitimate. She wanted that belt, she had to come try and take it. That she had to do what she had to do to antagonize me and for me and everybody else to want to call for that fight because I don't think anybody else wanted to give her that fight. So she did what she had to do to get the fight, and it went down the way it did. And the thing is I'm cool, I'm chill, but someone disrespects me or fucks with me too bad, I'm gonna fuck your ass up. It's just point blank, period. I keep my cool. I'm a professional athlete, but when it comes to disrespecting me and pushing buttons, if I see you, you're getting hurt. And most of the time for this sport, I get to do it inside the ring. I have a scheduled time to beat the shit out of you. So that's why I love what I do. It's my nature. It is what I do. It's what I'm best at. The fight.
You're freezing up there. You broke up for a minute.
Not getting hit the way she was supposed to get hit in practice. That I am of these girls the way I'm going to and put them. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
All right. So I'm just saying, anybody that's preparing her is not hitting her like I'm gonna hit her. No one's putting that pressure. No one's gonna give the energy that I have inside of that ring, and I knew that the whole time. So I trained like she could beat my ass. I trained for every opponent like they could beat the shit out of me. So I don't take anybody lightly. So if anyone's like, "Oh, she's taking me lightly," no, I don't. I'm not stupid. I want to take you out in 30 seconds if I can. I want to take you out in 10 seconds if I can. And if I have to train my ass off to do that, I'm going to do it. I don't want to go through more rounds and chance breaking my hands or sitting out or getting hurt.
Yeah, and you know, in that fight, she hit you. I think she hit you once. You know, caught your attention, and then you just like flipped that on switch. Went, that's it. It's over, and you really just unloaded on this girl. So much so, and you know, I haven't really spoken publicly about this fight since it happened. I was shocked that she quit the way she did because I did not expect that from her. I've always had a lot of respect for Taylor. You know, again, she goes in there, she puts on fights, and she's had some very exciting fights. I've never seen anybody quit like that in my life. And since that moment, I haven't really seen a lot or heard a lot from her on social media. You know, you were very respectful to her after the fight. You showed love and respect and appreciation. And I'll be honest with you, I was very proud of you for that because a lot of fighters would have, you know, some other fighters would have just been like, yeah, I knew that bitch was going to quit and blah, 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 blah. And they really would have taken the low road. You took the high road. You went in there. It's a fight. And, you know, like you said, I have a scheduled time to kick your ass.
Yeah.
That's one of the best quotes ever on this show. I have a scheduled time to kick your ass. That fucking resonates right in the heart. Have you spoken with her since the fight? Like after it was over that night, has she reached out to you? Have you guys chatted?
She told me happy birthday, and I said, you know, keep your head up, all that shit. You know, I've never had a problem with Taylor Starling. You know, besides the fight.
For the fight,
you know, and I know she's a young and upcoming fighter. She's trying to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So she's trying to. During that time, I really didn't like her. I really didn't. So, but after I'm just like, whatever, just like I did with every other opponent, just like I did with Britain Hart, did all the time. But Britain Hart just ratchet and she just wants to continue shit. But I cut things off after a fight. Like it's done. Like I got to punch you. We fought it out, shake hands, go on our way. This is a sport, you know. But I haven't had a problem with her. I see that she tries her best, you know. Taylor Starling, and nobody wants to go out like that. It's not, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, nobody would want to go out like that. So I think she should go down to 115. But that's just my opinion.
You might be right, though. 115 might be a better suited weight class for her.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm a true 125er, and she's just like, I saw an interview, and she's just like, well, she hits hard. You know, I'm just like, well, that's what a 125er hits like, you know. That's what I'm thinking, you know. I know I'm in boxing gyms. I know how to hit somebody, you know, and I know I have a lot of technique behind that. When I was a Muay Thai fighter, MMA fighter, I didn't have that same power. I've always been strong and had a hard hit, but not like I have now.
No, you refined your skill set.
Yeah, and you learn how the balance and stuff like that, and how to move when you punch. It's all science. So
yeah,
I've really gotten dug into my boxing.
Yeah. There's a comment on here from Matt Seibel. He said Misfit psychological warfare is on top notch. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, a couple other people.
I'm all about that.
Cherokee, this one's from Jeff Bush. He said Cherokee Diversified loves Christine Ferea.
That's one of my sponsors.
Yeah,
I love them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you for shouting them out.
One of my viewers, he wanted to share this information with you. He says he won $125 on your fight.
Right on.
He parlayed you with 2 other fights and won all 3. Just wanted to say thank you for showing up to win. You rock.
Hey, no problem. Always bet on me. Do not ever bet on my opponent. I'm telling you. Don't. I promise, don't.
You know what? You know what's hard about that, because when you bet fights or when you bet anything, obviously you want to get the biggest payday, and you always come in as a big favorite.
I
so
know.
Sometimes putting money on the underdog just for that fucking bet.
I do it myself, dude, with underdogs. But okay, if I fight Amanda Serrano in boxing, don't. But bare knuckle, I don't even know what the odds would be against Amanda Serrano in bare knuckle. But in boxing, oh my god, yeah, I wouldn't bet on me that. But I'm gonna try my best. But I know for bare knuckle, she's toast. You know.
You know, in boxing, I would bet on you against Amanda Serrano, even though she'd come in as a big favorite. I would still bet on you because you do have skill. You're a tough girl. You could take a shot, and you're not this is when I say this, I'm not taking a shot at Taylor.
Yeah,
so anybody,
I know what you're about to say.
But you're not going to quit in there.
Right, I'm not.
You know,
no. I'll get knocked out.
You'll get knocked out before you quit.
Yes,
absolutely. Yes. And again, please, people, don't turn this into a big thing that I'm bagging on Taylor, because I'm not. Like I said, you got to respect somebody that walks in there and steps into, a challenge like that at any weight class. I don't care if they're the worst fighter on the planet. If they step in there, that you got to give them respect, because it takes guts, it takes fucking heart, it takes chutzpah, it takes balls.
Yeah. So, I think she learned a lot from it. She learned about the levels, and I know, because when I was younger, I thought I could beat up Chris Cyborg. Like, honestly, I was like, I just need a little bit more training. I got this. Man, no, you can't. Like, but I was like 25 years old. You know what I mean? I really thought that, and that's what brought to me when she was saying she could beat me. I'm like, yeah, well.
What do you think now of Cyborg? You think you beat her now in like a boxing match? She's a big girl.
She's big, dude. I mean, she's big. I would fight Amanda Nunes.
Yeah. She's big too.
Yeah, she's big, but I feel like Cyborg's just bigger, dude.
Cyborg
can't even get to 135.
No, she cannot. She's got to fight at 145.
Nunes could get at least she's been fighting at 35 most of her career. And she looks a little chubby at 45. So
here comes a comment from my friend Garrett Kerman, the fight analyst. He said, Christine is a dog.
Yeah, and I'm a dog walking mom.
And here's an interesting question from my man Eddie Martinez. He wants to know if you would train with Taylor if she was going against Britain at 115. Would you fly?
Absolutely.
Would you tell her to fly out and train with you?
Yeah, come out. She needs to come out here. The competition and everything out here is way elite.
And here's one from Jeff Bush, your sponsor. He said he thinks Jenny Savage and Starling would be a good fight.
Yeah, that would be a great fight.
That could be a fight that the winner gets Britain.
They should do that, dude.
That's a good idea, Jeff Bush.
Yeah, I like that.
Jeff Bush is knowing what he's talking about.
But Jenny Savage, I'm always that's my little homie, so I can't go against her. I can't go against the homie.
Can't go against the homie.
No.
But so you wouldn't train Taylor if she was fighting Jenny, but that's an interesting question that Eddie posed. Would you train Taylor if she was going against Britain? Yeah, I guess. Ain't nothing wrong.
No,
with
I
that,
would train. I would work with her. I'm sure she has a coach, and stuff like that. But I would definitely work with her, in sparring and put some pressure on her she's never felt.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And she she needs that. She needs some people to give her the real deal.
Her corner. She was begging to get out. I'm very upset with that. When she was begging to get out of the ring, the ref didn't see her begging. He didn't hear what she was saying, so she was just like, I can't. He thinks that she's just talking to her corner. You know what I'm saying? So when she turns around, he's like, you ready to go? And she was
kind of like, yeah,
because her corner was like, go, but she was obviously done. Like, they should have threw in the towel, in my opinion, and saved her save face for her.
You know, a lot of people did say that after the fight.
That's fucked up. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, you know, it's hard because from the corner's perspective, you never want to throw in the towel for your fighter. You know, you just
Bro,
don't.
she was like begging.
I
to
know,
get
I know.
out.
Listen, I saw it all. I watched it all
Yeah.
happen. I watched it all go down, so I
There's a
understand.
difference. Like if I'm a coach and I'm sitting there, my fighter's like, no, I can't. Like I'm up there. Like, what's up? Like, it's done. It's done. You know, I don't care. I mean, I don't agree with how it happened, what went down, all that shit. I don't. I really don't. And it sucks because I really want to put on more of a show and I really wanted to get a knockout, like a clean knockout. And I put in a lot of work for that fight. But you know, I'm just looking at the other things. I'm also like coach in my head, half, you know, a little quarter of me.
Right.
I'm like 75% fighter still and 25% coach.
Of
You know,
course.
so yeah, that's like the coach part of me. It's just like call that shit, you know.
Would you get mad if you would you get mad at your corner if you were in that situation that she was in and you're telling them you're done, and they didn't throw in the towel? Would you be pissed?
Would I be pissed if they didn't throw in the towel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd fire all of them.
Would you be pissed if they did throw in the towel?
No, I asked for that.
I'm just double checking because
yeah,
that fighter mentality, you know, a lot of
well,
fighters.
I would never do that. But I'm just but if I was to that point where I was like, no, like, or you know, I couldn't imagine doing that. But if I was, you know, overwhelmed to the point where she said she didn't feel like she had a chance in that fight, so why continue? So
yeah,
but go out on her sword. She knows that for if it happens again, go out on her sword, get knocked the fuck out.
Get knocked out or get TKO'd or, you know, but go out there and at least put on the show because you're going to need that for your mental game for the next fight.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot goes behind that.
So what does that mean on your shirt? GWA.
Guerrilla Warfare Apparel.
Had to double check. I didn't know if it meant girls with ass kicking, you know, abilities or.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one of my sponsors.
Guerrilla Warfare Apparel. Are they a new sponsor for you?
Yeah, they're a new sponsor.
That's awesome. Yep. They putting some money in the Misfit camp.
Yes, they're helping me out a lot. So, and their clothing is dope. I wear it all the time. They send me out stuff. It's dope. It's just exactly like my kind of style of stuff.
So you said you want a big name. You said you want a good money fight, but in reality, because you know Serrano probably isn't going to be that next fight. So who's next for you?
I don't know. Feldman.
No, you can't fight Feldman. I don't think they do.
I mean, we should one time.
Feldman got hands. Be careful what you ask for.
I'll go out on my sword though.
But Feldman does have hands. I was at one of the tribes one day.
He's a boxer.
He's got some good skills. You know,
I didn't know that at first about him. You know that, and I thought he was just a promoter, and I was just like, whatever, dude. But then I found out he was a fighter. I was like, okay, like, yeah, I respect that.
Yeah,
I didn't do my homework, dude.
Yep. Well, you know, most people when they sign up with the promoter, they don't look at if the promoter has any fights before that. Right. You know, they just go, that's the promoter. What the fuck? Yes. You know, what the fuck does he know? He knows how to book a fight. I know how to fight a fight. Exactly. You know, and then you find out that he knows how to fight a fight too, and you're like, yeah. It adds a different level of respect to the relationship, no doubt about it.
It really does. I thought didn't give a shit about the fighters, but
he does. I think that's why he gets so hyped up, and that's why he gets pissed off when fighters don't fight. You know.
No, I know. Because he's a fighter.
Mad. Yeah.
Like, I know, but that's understandable.
Like I heard post fight, he was in the hotel lobby bitching about, the outcome of your fight. Not that
Yeah.
you won, but the lack of fight from your opponent. And
Yeah.
I heard he had some harsh things to say. I'm not going to repeat them because I wasn't there to say if they were true or
To
not.
verify, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to put out rumors about what came out of David Feldman's mouth, but I
Yeah,
did
I
hear
didn't
some
hear
stuff,
nothing.
and I was shocked. I was like, but then again, I wasn't shocked because I remember when he walked into the ring in Mississippi. He said, "I'm not paying that fucking guy because he didn't step up
Rusty
and toe the line."
Crowder, yeah.
Right? You remember
But
that shit, girl?
yeah, I remember. But he brought him back, dude, and then
Of course he
Rusty
did.
fought. Rusty, he just gets mad, but he comes back and he always does the right thing. You know what I mean? So, Rusty, Rusty's been on. He was just on the card. So,
Yep. Matt
and
Seibel
he
said
fights.
Mark Zuckerberg is next for you.
Yeah, fuck him for fucking banning me all the time.
Right? Let's get one and get even with that man. Let's get
Yeah.
one and get even with that
Let's go to
motherfucker.
celebrity boxing.
There
Mark.
you go. Yeah, I mean, years ago, I know tennis is obviously a non-contact sport, but years ago there was Billie Jean King, and she took on I can't remember the guy's name, but he was talking all this smack, saying that men are better than women, and Bobby Riggs. This was, and Billie Jean King beat his ass, in the fucking tennis. So maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get, maybe we'll get an intergender celebrity boxing match, and you versus Mark Zuckerberg.
Hey, I would let him go bare knuckle and I'll go gloves. Let's do that. Come on, Mark.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. I love it. Oh man, I fucking love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, listen, champ, you are definitely somebody I have all the respect for in the world. I love what you do. I love how you carry yourself.
Love your show as well.
Thank you. You take no shit, take no prisoners. It's never personal. It's always professional.
Absolutely.
Even though sometimes it's personal. I mean,
just for one particular person.
Yeah. Do you think that'll ever go away?
I tried, dude. After my fight, I went and checked on her. After my fight, I talked to her when she was getting ready for Beck. I was encouraging her, and then she wants to say some dumb shit online. Like, bro, take your L and move the fuck on. But she just continuously disrespects, and I don't know if she's bipolar. What the hell's wrong with her? I've heard down the line that she's fucking crazy. But if you're cool to somebody, you don't talk shit about them. You know what I'm saying? You don't disrespect them in public. You know what I mean? So she's disrespecting me, disrespecting my career, and she thinks that's okay. It's not. It's never going to be okay. I'm not going to accept that, and I'm never being cool with her again. And if she wants to get crazy with me in person, she's going to get laid the fuck out. So that's what it is. No, I'm never going to be cool with her again. I don't trust her. She's ratchet.
And nobody could tell you to feel differently because you've had your experience with her
several times.
Several times.
I mean, I'm forgiving. I'm way forgiving than people will give me credit for.
Well, you come across as a very intimidating.
Right.
You do. You just come across as intimidating, and I guess I can understand why some people think you're not as forgiving as you are.
Right.
But if they take the time to sit and listen to you speak when you do interviews like this and on other shows, they'll find out a lot about you. You're not.
And I think I'm not what the people think I am and what people paint me to be completely. I've made my mistakes in life. I've messed up, as we all have. But I'm a good person and I usually do the right thing. 90% of the time, like most of us, I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming that. But yeah, I think this last fight, that was a natural thing, the way I treated Taylor, and just people got to see another side of me other than, you know what I mean? I'm an athlete and I get my zone. I'm going to continue to get my zone. When I'm fighting you, I do not like you, whether you're my friend or not. Beforehand, in my mind, you are the enemy. You're not who my friend was.
Yep. I don't know who this guy is. Wesley Killigo Jr. says, "Fight for our future." I don't know if that's somebody you know.
Yes.
Is that somebody you know?
On my Facebook, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fight for our future.
I believe that's cancer, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Check him out. Yeah. Check out his page.
Cancer fucking sucks.
Yes.
Well, listen, champ. I know you always take the time to do these interviews with people like me, and I definitely appreciate it, man. I love chatting with you, like I said. He said it's childhood cancer. Okay, Wesley, thank you for clearing that up. So,
I'm sorry.
no,
Yeah.
and childhood cancer awareness, and that's awesome. Yeah, fuck cancer, fuck cancer.
Yeah. Check out his
fuck
page,
cancer.
guys.
We definitely will. Guerrilla Warfare up here, GWA. Let me pop their little thing on the screen. GWA. And there's the champ wearing that GWA, Guerrilla Warfare apparel. Check them out. They are the official clothing brand for Christine Ferea. And she said the gear's comfy. It's good. It's high quality. It's well made.
Pray for my enemies. I believe that's this one.
Yep. Pray for my enemies.
You have to, because they get wrecked.
They get wrecked. Yeah, man. It's great. I wish we had more to talk about in a fight for you, but hopefully we'll have something here soon where you have another big fight coming up.
Yeah, I might do boxing in between too. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you brought that up. Boxing. If you were to go over to boxing, is there anybody out there besides Serrano that you would box right now? I mean, maybe to get your feet wet.
Yeah, I don't have anybody in mind, but I'll just find a show that they put me on with somebody at my level and experience and get it. I think I'll do well though.
I think you would do well. I think you have the natural moves now, and like you said, you've refined your skill set.
Yes.
Working in these boxing gyms. Maybe get some time with Floyd and do some work with him on that counter punching.
That'd be nice.
Have you ever offered an opportunity to you?
No. I don't know if he does much coaching. I haven't seen him really do much coaching. His Roger Mayweather I know some of the other his brother or his family is out here too. So I'm around all of that. You know what I mean? I could go into TMT, but I'm into really low key gyms, and like I like to train by myself. That's the type of fighter I am. Yeah, I'm really secluded person.
There is one other name that's coming over, and she's a former UFC fighter as well. Her background, when she came to the UFC and we started MMA, was Muay Thai, so she has some striking work in there. Felice Herrig, thought about welcoming her.
Yeah. She wants me to welcome her?
No, well, Jeff Bush wants you to welcome her.
Oh, I was like, what? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm down though.
Again, she got a name.
Yeah,
she's got a name.
Yeah,
she got a following. So
but
yeah,
I don't think I'm gonna be her first fight.
I don't think you should be her first fight either. I think she needs to get her feet wet with somebody else first. Yeah. But it was just and that's why I didn't bring it up. Yeah. And then she brought it up. Yeah, and Jeff Bush said she's a 115, but I think she would fight up at 125 as well.
No,
BKFC is a little different.
I talked to her and she said she's going to fight at 125.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Matt Seibel said you have 2 minutes for her.
What? 2 minutes?
He said you have 2 minutes for her. For Felice, he's giving her 2 minutes to last with you, I guess is what he's trying to say.
Oh, okay.
All right. So before I let you go, anybody you want to shout out sponsors, teammates, friends, family, coaches?
Guerrilla Warfare Apparel. I got Condemn Labs, my supplement company. They are dope, super high quality. I haven't had a supplement I'm just with them now. I wouldn't commit to anybody else because I didn't trust, fully their product. These guys actually work. I tested them out before I committed to them. Barber Orthopedic and my lawyer, Jason Ferguson. Check out Jason Ferguson. He's the man. And Barber Orthopedic in Atlanta. He's all over the United States, though. They're super good, and they keep my shoulders get a little messed up, and I get them fixed up all the time by them.
Yeah, you're all over the place. You're in Vegas. You're in Orlando. You're in Atlanta. You're traveling, getting the work in, seeing the people.
Yes.
It's the champ tour of 2022, baby. That's what we like to say.
Misfit season, baby. Misfit season.
And we're going to end you up on that. Listen, Misfit, Christine, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on defending the belt. I can't wait to see who's next. I don't think anybody can wait to see who's next. And the problem is we don't know if there's anybody that's legitimately next. So, nobody out there has
right.
earned that shot yet. So hopefully somebody will, and
Yeah.
will step up and we'll get you back in.
Absolutely.
Hopefully before the end of the year. But
I believe my contract says I have to fight by the end of the year.
all right, cool. Well, hopefully they'll get you an opponent that's worthy by the
Yeah.
end of the year. And
Yep.
we got to jump out and let you go. You've taken a lot of time with us tonight, man. We really
Yeah, thank you
appreciate
very
you.
much.
Good luck.
All
All the
right.
love to you. All the
Thank you for
blessings.
having me on.
And thank you for entertaining us.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Boys and girls, that was Christine Ferea. She is the 125-pound champ. There is nobody out there right now, in my opinion, that can beat her. At 125, there is nobody out there for her to fight, in my opinion, at 125. At least nobody that's earned an opportunity at this point, and you got to go in there and do it. So, but we're going to bring in my next guest. He's about 15 minutes late because, that's him. That's his style, and he lives in the woods, and I don't think he has a clock. I don't know, but we're going to bring him in right now. He's always a lot of fun, man. So let's welcome in the Bible Belt Brawler himself, my man Bobo Bannon coming in. What's up, B?
Oh man, loving life, brother. How about you?
Oh, I'm living life, man. So why you tardy tonight, bro? No excuse.
I'm little hints. Um I come out here. I'm right in the middle of it with Coach. We was finishing off with our circuit workouts, and we only had one more round left to do. And Britt comes out there. She says, you're late. You need to get off and get with Christopher James now." Yes, ma'am. Sorry, sorry. I'm fat. I'm stupid. I lost track of time.
Oh man, so it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, Bobo. It's good to see you. I mean, I saw you a couple of weeks ago in Mississippi for Game Bred Boxing. It was good to see you just out there watching some fights, man. What'd you think of fight night there at Game Bred Promotions?
Yeah, I liked them. I liked them. There were some pretty decent fights on there. There really were. I had two of my friends, my sparring partner Jamal Tatum, went in there and absolutely dominated in his MMA fight at the end there. And
Yep, he did.
an old Devin. What is Devin's last name?
Cushing.
Devin Cushing. That's right. That's right. I've been hitting the head too much. I'm sorry. But Devin trained over there with Mr. Roy Jones Sr. for years, and I'm not sure if that's still where he's at or not. But
yeah, he's a Roy Jones Sr. fighter. There's no doubt about that.
okay, yeah, he's trained over there with Mr. Roy for years. Man, I remember going over there to spar. They got a guy, Giovanni La Cagnata, super cool guy. Went over there and sparred him a bunch, and he'd beat the fire out of me. And Devin was over there sparring a lot, and so I've known him ever since he was little, And super cool kid, man. I was happy to watch him dominate.
Yeah, he's definitely a bright prospect coming up in the boxing world. I've watched Devin, all his pro fights. I've been fortunate to announce most of them, and I just love that kid. He's got one of the most incredible jabs I've ever seen. Popped off in the ring. And the way he can lower his jab level and raise his jab level at such a smooth, fluid motion, it gives me goosebumps a little bit when I watch him, man. So maybe you need to get some Devin Cushion training. Get your jab up and down, up and down, and up and down, because you're going to need to have an up and down jab because you're fighting a big son bitch fucking coming up here in just a few weeks.
Yes, sir. Coach has been working with me on that for a little bit over a year now. And, I'm a big old dumb old country boy. It's hard for us to learn new tricks.
Yeah, I don't, you always tell people you're the big old dumb old fat hillbilly country boy. You're full of shit, man. I don't buy it anymore, Bobo. I think you're a natural, fun-loving, happy-go-lucky kind of dude. But you play yourself off as stupid sometimes. I'm like, Bobo ain't stupid. I
Look, man,
can't. It's hard for me to even laugh anymore when you say it because I know you're not. You're a very smart man. And you're playing this game the right way.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, look, a lot of people have trouble being the butt of the joke in this world. Anybody, guys my size, small guys, females, whatever. It seems that tons of people have trouble making themselves the butt of the joke or being the punchline of the joke in the group. Sometimes, dude, I'm gonna make myself the punchline. I'm gonna make myself the butt of my own jokes. So I mean, it's funner that way. When you got a big old guy my size who's not afraid to, let people pick on him and pick on himself. It makes things a lot easier, a lot funner, a lot more exciting to be around.
Yeah, no, you're definitely fun. You're a polarizing kind of guy. You're a lot of fun. You're goofy. You're silly. I'm still never going to forget you skipping inside the squared circle. That picture that floated around that we made. Everybody made memes of. I mean, it was so funny, and you were like on the meme train. You were driving that motherfucker.
Yes, sir. Yes, that was hilarious. That still shocks me, man. I'm some simple old country boy. I would say little, but I ain't little. I'm
You
some
ain't little.
simple old no simple old country boy from just little backwoods towns, And we moved a bunch, so I never even got set in anywhere long enough until high school to actually make a name for myself anywhere. And I get in high school, and as a freshman, I go to the state track meet, throwing the discus like 150 feet or something, I think it was, and throwing the shot put, and then being on the varsity team as a freshman, then starting 6A varsity football as a sophomore. So I was able to make a name for myself a little bit. But the biggest thing, like you keep saying, is everybody talks about how silly and goofy and fun I am, and that's, man, for me, I want to have fun. But the best way for me to have fun is if everyone around me is having fun as well.
Yeah, and if you have to make yourself the butt of the joke to make it fun for everybody, Bobo ain't scared. I mean,
No,
we did the chip challenge on here. I mean, we've done some silly stuff. I mean, you talked about chili farts on here. I mean,
look, you eat me up with that chip challenge because you're gonna come in and say I didn't see it. Do another one. Well, I
well,
mean,
I didn't see it, so if I
yeah,
didn't see it, it didn't happen.
right. So I had to go in there and get another one. Look, that second one set me clean smooth on fire.
Hey, listen,
Oh,
I did the chip challenge to my daughter and her friend because my daughter talks all this shit that she can do all these hot foods. So I said, all right. So I went and bought the chip challenge. I bought two of them, and at first I thought my wife was going to attempt to do it with her, which I probably would have fucking stopped her because I wouldn't want to see her cry.
no.
But my daughter, yeah, she can go ahead and get some of that fucking hot chip, and yeah, she did not last long, dude. She did not last long, and then her friend didn't last long either. And then her friend touched her eye after she touched the chip, and oh my god,
Oh, yeah, that's terrible. That's emergency room stuff there.
that she survived. I mean, they were throwing milk in her eye and water in her
Yeah.
eye, and oh my god, it's still one of my funniest recent memories from the last couple. Well, let's see, that was earlier this year or late last year that we did it. So I don't even think it's been a full year since we did it to her. But I'm gonna take her to a place down here called Munchie's 420. They have a hot wing challenge that even the guy Adam Richmond that used to do Man versus Food, he couldn't
Yeah.
fucking do that challenge. But my daughter said, "Oh, I can do it." I'm like, "Man, you couldn't even handle the chip challenge." So fucking all right, we'll see. They make you sign a waiver and everything. So hey,
Yeah.
guess who's here? Let me shout out this guy. We don't know who he really is. There's only rumors, but Patrol Man is in the building. What's up, G?
Look, that's my dude right there. I will honestly say I honestly do not know who Patrolman is, and I will also honestly say that if I did know who Patrolman is, I would tell you I know who he was, but I still wouldn't tell you who he was. But all that aside, I sincerely don't know who Patrolman is, but Patrolman is awesome. I
Patrolman is
like
awesome, but see,
Patrolman.
I don't think Patrolman is one person.
Look, man, I'm going to be honest with you.
I
I,
think
I
Patrolman is a multiple of three people. And you know what? Like you, if I ever find out who it exactly is, I'll never tell. But
never.
but because he's fun. It's fun,
Yeah.
he says what he wants to say. He don't worry about the flash, the blowback from it. Um, so and I've got a few ideas of who I think one of the people that Patrolman is, but I won't say it on the air. And
Right.
I love that the conversation that gets generated about him. It's kind of funny. So um Patrolman's over here laughing because even if like he put up the laughing one, because even if we know who you are, Patrolman, we're not going to tell.
At all. At all.
But
Him,
no, hold on,
her.
hold on, hold on. Let me walk that back a little bit. If somebody offers me $25,000 and I can prove who Patrolman is, and they're going to give me 25 grand, I need the money. I'm just going to be straight. I might have to fucking rat it out, but ain't nobody going to offer 25 grand for that anyway.
If somebody offered 25 grand for that, I would come to Patrol Man and offer him to split it with him. And if he says no, then it's no, even if I knew who it was.
Well,
And
if he
and
says
I
no, then fucking I'm gonna fucking be happy to blast it out, because if I went to him with an offer and said, look, somebody's gonna give me 25 grand to fucking put you out there, so I'll give you fucking half of it and we'll both make some money. But if you say no, I'm gonna have to keep all the money.
I I couldn't do
Oh,
it.
and by the way, Britain said she's the boss, and the answer is yes, you will fucking rat out Patrol Man if the money comes out.
No, no, it's not. She would have to kill me, which therefore the information would die with me.
No, because she'd probably know at that point, because you don't keep secrets from Mrs. O'Bannon.
Well, you're actually 100% correct there.
So she would
So,
know. So she would just do it herself, keep the money, and tell you to go fuck yourself.
yeah, game over. She wins.
Game over. Britain wins. All
You're
right.
right.
So you got a big fight coming up. Bobo O'Bannon versus Ben Rothwell. The day they announced the signing, you asked for this fight immediately. A lot of the BKFC community has been up in arms because this fight is going to be contested at a catch weight. Fucking, it's not going to be, a 265. Ben Rothwell is going to come in weighing probably 300 plus pounds. I saw a video of him the other day. He looks fucking ginormous. And the reason I'm bringing that up, because I saw a couple of posts and I commented on one of them and I said, look, fuck, for all you people out there that are, fucking bitching and moaning this and that, this is exactly who Bobo asked for. This is what he wanted. Nobody twisted Bobo's arm and said, sign the contract for over heavyweight. Bobo don't give a fuck. Bobo wants this fight. So Bobo took this fight. So break it down for the people that are at home and that don't understand that this wasn't BKFC trying to feed you to Ben Rothwell. This was Bobo Bannon trying to get a bite out of Ben Rothwell.
So what happened? Sincerely, there was 265 is the heavyweight weight limit.
Yep.
I was sent a contract at one weight that was over, and was told not to worry about that one. I was sent a second contract at a weight that was over, was told not to worry about that one. I was sent a third contract at another weight, and the third contract is the one that I signed. Actually, to be honest with you, by the time they told me not to worry about that contract, I already signed them and sent them back to them anyway. So I signed three contracts and sent all three of them back to them. I mean, man, look, the deal of it is we're fighters. We fight.
Yep.
I mean, plain and simple. Either I'm scared of him and I don't want to fight him, or I'm not scared of him and I will fight him.
And you chose to fight him.
Yes, sir, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. And like I said, this was the fight you asked for. The day they announced this fight, I remember seeing social media posts. Bobo was like all over that fight. Bobo wanted that fight immediately. Bobo wants to be the, Britain Beltran, who is my next guest, is taking on the girls that have come over from the UFC and gotten wins. So she's the UFC killer. And Bobo wants to be the same thing in the heavyweight division, the UFC killer. Send them all over. Send fucking everybody over. Greg Hardy's
Right.
here now. I mean, send Greg Hardy over after you get done with Ben, right?
Yeah. He can go next. I'm 1-1 with UFC guys right now, and
Yep.
I'm telling you, I'm fixing to be on a rampage. I'm that last one in that last one upset me. It hurt my feelings, and I'm
Why did it hurt your feelings? It's a fight. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose.
yeah, but my wife begged me to pull out of that fight. My coach begged me to pull out of that fight. My kids begged me to pull out of the fight. I tested positive for COVID 12 days before the fight, and started having really, really bad coughing symptoms and fever and all 15 days before the fight. But look, man, I'm just some stupid old country boy. Whenever I tell you I'm gonna do something, that's all I know.
So what did you learn from that experience?
Sometimes you got to listen to mama.
I think more than that. Sometimes you got to listen to your own body.
Yeah, it lied to me. I was just listening to what mama said.
Well, yeah, but when your body tells you, because your body told you that you weren't in 100% good shape, so you weren't in 100% perfect fighting. So don't fight if you ain't ready to go. If your body,
Right.
like you said, you caught COVID 12 days before, and I mean, you should have. now that I know this, I would have told you to pull out of the fight. I mean, your body, needs time to recover from that. So,
Even with me saying that bit of knowledge there, even with me saying that, I do want to say I don't blame 100% COVID on taking the fight from me or none of that bull crap,
right.
because I'm the idiot that leaned in, and the only time I come all the way in with the right hand I threw, I come all the way in with that right hand, no matter what the reason. Come all the way in with it. He did a little sidestep and a little check, straight right hand hook, whatever, right above my ear, and it was over with. In
That
this
was
bare
it.
knuckle world, there's no padding on the gloves. There's no padding on the hand there. You catch one to the side of the head, and it's night night Betty. It's over with.
Especially with big heavyweight guys like yourself. By the way, guys, you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James. We are going deep on bare knuckle fighting championship tonight. We just got done talking with the champ, Christine Ferea. We've got Bobo right here in the middle, and then in about 5 minutes, I've got the other female champion in BKFC, Britain Beltran. She's sitting by in the green room right now, looking all happy and smiling, and I can't wait to bring her on the show and say welcome to a champion, because she's worked hard to get there, and like, I feel it. Like, I remember one time she told me, that what she's got going on was a feeling. And I've got that feeling right now about Britain, man. I'm still carrying that around. So we're going to get there in about 5 minutes. Bobo, you've got Ben Rothwell. You said you took 3 contracts to finally get the deal done. Is there a weight on this contract that this final contract? What is the actual weight, or is it just open weight?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's information I can say or not. But I don't.
Well,
I
what's your
don't know.
contracted weight?
The weight is either 290 or 295.
Okay, so I mean,
I'm not.
you can say that. I mean, it's public information. We're going to find out on
Okay.
the weigh-in day anyway. I mean, and Britain, is that the weight? Because she's your manager, Britain. I said Britain, and Britain Beltran looked, and she forgot that your wife is Britain. She's like, she's sitting there in the green room, go, ah.
That's funny stuff.
So
That's funny stuff.
what can we expect to see different from you in this fight? Any improvements that we should be looking for, or are we just going to see the same Bobo coming out head first and fucking let's go?
Yeah, I mean, why not? That makes for exciting fights. I'm in really good shape right now. Really good shape right now. I've started a little weightlifting regimen, and packed on some pounds. Tried desperately to pack on some pounds, put on some more muscle. Gotten a little bit faster. My cardio is better. So yeah, we're gonna, what do people know about Bobo? That you're going to get exciting fights whenever I'm in that squared circle, when I'm in there fighting. So it would be all I know how to do. Go in there and blast him out. We want it over with by the end of the second round, by whatever means necessary. Get it over with in 2.
And obviously, Ben Rothwell. What his striking acumen is. He's got big, heavy hands. There is no doubt about it. He can punch, and if he lands, just like Belcher, if he lands that right shot, it's going to be night for Bobo. A lot of people, this is the question I want to finish with you, because we are running behind. A lot of people didn't want you to take the Belcher fight. A lot of people said that you shouldn't take this fight. They said this could be the BKFC career ender for Bobo. I don't personally believe that. I believe as long as you're willing to scrap, and as long as you're willing to go in there and put on a show, I think you'll always have a home at BKFC. But do you listen to that outside static? Does that factor into your decisions at all, or are you worried about losing this fight? Oh, I see a puppy.
We just discussed how the big old dumb country boy. I'm too dumb to listen to all that, man. Mom always told me, if you're gonna be that dumb, you're going to be pretty doggone tough, and so I'm pretty tough built, thick skin, man. You're gonna hear people say all kind of stuff. You win, people are gonna have something negative to say about it. There's gonna be a crew that's got negative stuff to say about it. You lose, negative stuff. Whatever. No matter the situation, no matter what happens, there's going to be people talking trash. There's going to be people saying good stuff. I'm the kind of guy that I want to surround myself with the positive stuff. I want to look at the positive stuff that's going on, and so that's what I do. Um, man, this opportunity of a lifetime for a simple old country boy like me. You know, uh, fighting this big of a name of a person. Why not? Let's go in there. Let's see what happens.
Let's
Can
get it.
Yeah, I'll be asking myself for the rest of my life, could I have beat that guy? Could I have beat him? For the rest of my life, I'd ask myself that. Now I get to know. I don't have to ask myself.
I agree with you, man. Well, listen, dude. I appreciate you taking the time out of the workout schedule there and coming in a little early. I also a little upset with you for coming in a little late. So, but I still love you to death, and it's okay. But we got to jump. So before I jump, shout out to your sponsors and give people your social media that don't have it already so they can follow on the Bobo train because it's always a fun ride.
Yes, yes. Look, Bobo the Bible Belt Brawler O'Bannon, Bobo O'Bannon on Facebook. I think Bobo about the Bible Belt Brawler O'Bannon on Instagram. Look me up, follow me. I'm going to be shouting all my sponsors out on there. My wife's got a list, and I'm not smart enough to remember what's on there. So, so
That's why I love you, dude. You just fucking constantly take shot at yourself, shot after shot after shot, man. It's so undeserving because you're a lot smarter than you like to let people know. But I'll let you continue to play the game, man. You can play the game anytime you want on my show. Always great seeing you. Always great catching up. We'll be looking forward to it. So, boys and girls, this is Bobo Bannon. He's fighting Ben Rothwell. He's going to welcome Rothwell to the squared circle. It's October 1st, correct?
Yes, sir. October the 1st in Monroe, Louisiana.
There you go. And if you want to support Bobo, when you get done with the show, go onto my Facebook page and type in your link for the thing so people that don't have the app can buy it and put it under your name and help you make a little extra cheddar so you can take care of Miss Britain.
Most definitely, but I know that joker needs some taking care of too. You hear me?
Damn right, man. You got to have that money. She's a high maintenance lady.
Yes, she is. And she walking her high maintenance tail out here right now. Stub one of her toes cost me another $50. Get that thing fixed. God. Good thing I got good health insurance.
Well, listen, brother, you enjoy the night. My love to you and the family, man. Always a pleasure to chat with you. We'll catch up with you again post fight. We'll talk about that big win you're going to get, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely. We
Amen,
most definitely
brother.
will do that.
Definitely. Blessings to you, and we will talk again soon.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a blessed one.
All right, man. Be good, Bobo. That's Bobo Bannon checking out, and we're going to keep the stream rolling on right now because we are running behind because Bobo was late. So here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, the one, the only, the 115-pound world champion of bare knuckle fighting championship. This is Britain Beltran.
Oh, yay! Look, it's better than having champs and fighters on your show and puppies.
And we got it all. We got champs. We got Bobo. We got puppies. Before we get into anything, I just want to say to you from the personal side of who I am, not the professional side, I'm so happy to be able to call you a champion. You've worked so hard. You've had a lot of different opportunities given to you that you've earned. So when I say earned and given, I mean them in the same way. You train hard, you work hard, you bust your ass. Even in losing, you're still winning. And I'm proud of you. And I'm honored to call you a champion today because you've earned it. You earned it. Maybe 125 wasn't your cup of tea, even though you were beating girls up, except for the champ. You were beating girls up. But I think 115 is where you should have been all along. And I'm so glad that they opened up this weight class for you. And God damn, I'm happy for you as a fan of the sport. As a member of the media, congratulations on finally getting that gold around your waist. You worked hard. I know it was a change of opponent, last minute, all that stuff. You didn't let it deter you and take you off the track. So congratulations on keeping your head in the game because that sometimes throws somebody, last minute opponent change, especially in one of the biggest opportunities of your career. could fuck everything up mentally. And, you know, if mental's off, physical's off. And you didn't let it fucking rock you.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to say it means the world to me to hear, you know, that I'm the champ. And I know a lot of people were like, hey, you're the people's champ, you're the champ no matter what. And that really carried a lot of weight with me. But really, that's what inspired me to be like, no, like these people deserve a real champ, like someone with gold, to where I can go and do the things that I say I'm doing and that I actually am even already doing now, like going to schools, going to boys and girls clubs, going to community centers, going to churches, wherever I can. And it's just so inspiring even to myself to just be like kind of out of body experience with all the cliches here growing up, you know, follow your dreams, you know, chase it no matter what, don't quit, you know, you got to see the bigger picture even though nobody else does, you know, people can stomp on you literally and just treat you like dirt, and you just have to keep going. And just to really embody that now, it was kind of like, you know, like you said, even losing, it was like I lost my way to greatness, like because those experiences built me and made me so much stronger. It made me be able to face adversity. And even in times like the opponent change, you know, where it could rattle somebody. And, you know, she was looking from going to fighting a really big opponent, Paige Van Sant, and being much bigger than me and cutting all this weight. And in my head, I'm thinking, you know, in boxing, this is a big no-no, you know, you always
Right.
at the class, or if anything, it'd be ideal for you to drop a class, not for somebody else to drop down to your class, because eventually they're just going to rehydrate and be, you know, bigger. But, you know, there was a lot of like moral support I had, a lot of life lessons. It was so cool. Joey, if you guys don't know, my husband was like, you know, he had seen my conversation as a mom, not a fighter, as a mom talking to my son about this pop quiz that he failed. And I gave him a really harsh dose of reality where he was like, whoa, that was a nice mom. And I'm like, well, you know, it's not something that we joke about and should be proud for failing a quiz, you know. And his excuse was it was a pop quiz. And I went into the fighter mentality. You got to always be ready and stay ready for these things. You got to pay attention because you never know what's going to come up. So in the instance to my child, you know, my 12-year-old, I'm now looking at this opponent change like, oh my gosh. And Joey nipped it in the bud. He said, just like the conversation you had with your son, you know, it's a pop quiz, Britton, and you are ready. You train for this. Who cares what the opponent is? Who cares if they're bigger? Who cares if they're southpaw? You have all the tools to beat whoever's in front of you. It's just a matter of in here. And with that being said, it instantly clicked with me, and all the, you know, whatever fear or anxiety or doubts was just completely washed away. And I really truly looked at that fight as like, you know, a very great learning lesson that I can give to kids and younger people, you know, that pop quizzes never stop. You know, it's not just in 3rd grade or 8th grade or your senior year. Pop quizzes are something that come up for adults as long as we live, and we have to be ready for them and be able to teach our children, teach the youth that if we can do it, this is why it's so important for you to do it now in your adolescent years.
Yeah. I like that Joey was able to reel you back in and remind you, hey, it's just a pop quiz, you know. But a little different than a pop quiz because, you know, the physical violence that comes with what you do for a living, and all of that. But I mean, I guess technically it's a pop quiz because you can get popped. So, and legitimately, this is more of a pop quiz than what your son had. So, yeah, your son's got no excuses. It's a pop quiz. You got to be ready. If you, and, you know, it's the old adage, you know, stay ready. You never have to get ready. So, I want to talk to you before we talk about your championship fight and everything, because my first guest on the show tonight was Christine Ferea, 125-pound champ. You knew very well. You've had a couple of fights with her. You didn't get the nods. When I asked her about, because I asked her about you, you know, what she thought of you professionally, and I said, what do you think of, you know, our new champion at 115? You know, girls worked her ass off to get there and get her opportunity. We both agreed that 115 was where you probably should have been all along, but they didn't have it. So you said, fuck it, I'll just fight at 125 till fucking, you know, something else happens. She said that she's tried to squash whatever beefs you guys have had over the years doing this. But she said on a professional level, she respects you. On a personal level, she still don't like you. And I don't want to go into a whole sidetrack thing of this, but is there ever, I want to ask you, is there ever a spot where you and her can just squash beef and become, respectful and maybe, I don't want to say best friends, but friends, where you walk into a room and you see each other and you're like, hey girl, and you give each other a hug, that kind of friendly. Do you see that, or is there just too much history there with you and her?
Look, my thing is what I've said to everybody. Apology goes a long way, and really that's what I'm looking for. And until I get an apology, I'll carry that beef until I die. And I mean,
Okay.
it's not supposed to be anything disrespectful. It's just, at the end of the day, I don't really air out the dirty laundry and say stuff. I mean, when it comes up, I mean, sometimes it gets hard to like not take your pokes. Like I know she takes her pokes at me. So it's kind of just like this petty back and forth stuff. But when it comes to personally, and she reached out after our second fight, which is kind of where most of the personal shit built up around. But she reached out and I thought it was kind of cool. Like, hey, this is maybe like a soft attempt at apologizing. Not an apology, but a soft attempt. So I'll softly attempt to receive the apology. And, we had exchanged messages and they were very positive and they were really great, which shows that I am capable of it. But it just went right back. And my thing is like, don't try to be nice to me in circumstantial things. Like you either are nice or you aren't. And, the same thing of your friends. You're either friends or you're not. I don't think there's a gray area where, oh, well, I'm friends with you on this day and on these conditions, but on other conditions I'm not, and it just doesn't work that way for me. And I think that winning this belt has really like healed a lot of hurt and doubt in my own self. So I think moving forward I'll handle these situations way better, because it's kind of like that personal chip on my shoulder. I can never really argue with her because she'd be really mean and negative and be like, you're a chump. You've never been a champ before. You're not on my level. You've never been a champion, anything. And even, that was why this belt was so important to me, to like get real respect from people. Cause yeah, I wasn't, a champ, but I still did champ like behaviors. Like a belt doesn't just say you're a belt. Like what does a champion do? A champion works hard. A champion never gives up. A champion shows up in the gym and gives them their best, things like that embody what a champion is. And I actually learned this years ago through Landmark. I always said, I'm not a champ yet. I'm not a champ. And they're like, but define what a champ is. If you just need a gold plate around your waist, like that's not going to make you a champion. And I really try to like hold on to that, which really kept me as strong as I did. But when you hear it from somebody else who's just like a little higher than you and they're like, you're a chump, you've never had what I've had, it makes you really want to dig deep and be like, you know what, I'm going to make it to where they can't use this against me, and I'm going to die trying, which I've always said. And it's whatever, I know people make stabs at me that because I couldn't beat her, I ran to a lower weight class. Like I think those are gentle pokes, going to a disrespectful route, because it's like, me and Christine used to be friends and we've shared that, on her weight cut. And she's like, man, which was really cool at the time. So I'm not saying anything bad, but she's like, I respect the shit out of you. I walk around at this weight and that's crazy. Like you're crazy for even doing it. Like, that's cool. And I'm like, yeah, I feel you on that. And trust me, I wish there was a lower weight class, but I know that I'm meant to be here for a reason and I have to stay on it. And even if it's involving beating, bigger girls up, and, I'll find a way. Like, I just knew I'd find a way. And you can tell it, yeah, I beat almost everybody at 125. I got my rematch at Beck, and then with Christine, it unfortunately didn't go my way, but it wasn't, a one-sided fight. I think a lot of people reached out and were like, wow, that's a true bare knuckle, warriors. Like, thank you both for demonstrating that. And she didn't win all the rounds. I went rounds with her, and I'm still the one opponent for being the skinny, shaky Bambi giraffe girl they talk about. For being Bambi, you never knocked me down. And there's girls that you fought that are way more muscular and bigger base than me. And, I'm still the only opponent, including Helen, that hasn't been knocked down by her. Cut up, yeah, but I stood my ground. And, it's okay. I like I said, the peace in my heart is healed. As far as, if she reaches out to me, super respectful. But, if I'm seeing jabs at me, it's kind of like, well, again, boxing lesson to life lesson. If you take jabs at me in the ring, I'm not just going to sit there. I'm going to try to, I'm going to make jabs back. And that's kind of, I think, what people are seeing, and they might take it the wrong way and might get their feelings hurt. But my thing is like, I'm definitely the one that's retaliating. I'm definitely the one that's jabbing back, because at the end of the day, I don't want the personal drama. I don't want the personal beef. And people can say, oh, well, it's cool, it sells fights. I really don't want that. And as you can see with me and Charissa, that fight was super awesome. And even at the stare down with no personal beef, I thought it was a very exciting and adrenaline rush. We were both there to compete. We both wanted to win, but we did it in a very respectful way. There was no name calling. There was no pushing. There was no yelling. And then afterwards, I mean, I really just have like the utmost respect for this girl. And we might be different on some, aspects, like just one being the obvious thing with the OnlyFans, but she doesn't hold my opinion against me, and I don't hold it against her, because now we have this mutual respect where we went out there. She freaking earned every bit to be in that ring. She's gone against tough opponents, and she comes back fight after fight, still getting better. And then I am too. And so just to like share that moment with her afterwards and be still great is really what I want with all fighters. It doesn't happen that way because, again, of the personal jobs. Like there's, and people are like, well, go whatever they want to say. Don't take things too personal. But, when you've worked as hard as I have, and especially I think that's why I'm extra hurt with her, because she knows the real legit sacrifices. Like she's seen me out in Vegas, and she might even use that against me. But that's kind of the point of it, is like, man, you've seen where I've been, and now you're kind of treating me like all these other people that are like using my past to throw stones at me or break me down, when you knew I was at a point which really deserved a high five. I mean, rocking on the road to get home because I didn't have a car, to go to the gym. Like those are real things that she saw. I went out to Vegas and lived out there 2 months in the shittiest circumstances, no money, no car, really no like real friends, just people at the time that I thought could build me and help me. And we're still friends to this day, but I was just meeting them for the first time. Right. But for her to see me walking on the side of the road and offer me a ride home, it's just kind of like, it hurts a little bit more on a deeper level now that I'm not getting built up by this girl, and I'm getting these hard jabs, but soft jabs either way,
Yeah. This is why I love talking to you, because I can ask you a question, you can give me an answer. Yeah. And you have no problem staying on it. And I can sit here and I can ask stupid little questions and you'll give me a good long answer, and I can just listen and learn. Because that's one of the reasons I do the show, is because I like to listen and learn about the people that I get to talk to, the people that I get to watch fight. And it makes me happy to hear, and I'll say this and then we'll move on from Christine. I hope one day you guys can find common ground, because I respect the hell. Hang on. You don't have earbuds in, so we can't talk at the same time. So I just hope one day you guys can walk into a room together, give each other, a hug, say respect, and not have it be the animosity that's there between you guys, because you're both awesome athletes. I think you're both good representatives for BKFC and for ladies across the world. So I hope one day that beef gets squashed. I don't know what it's going to take from your end or from her end, and I'm not even asking you to comment on that part, or for her to comment on that part. I just hope one day y'all figure it out, and we can stand up there at a BKFC press conference and be like two ladies that can do it, holding up belts together. I think that would be one of my favorite moments.
Fair enough.
It would be awesome. It would be awesome for everybody. It'd be awesome for the sport. So, so now, what the heck? I'm getting all these stupid pop-ups here on my damn fucking thing while I'm trying to do a show with my good friend Britton Hart, Beltran. I still laugh when I said at the press conference when you guys got married. Like, so is Joey going to take your last name?
Yeah, no, he's a name all in himself. It's hard. It's honestly, I feel like that's why people don't really like sticking with the Britain Beltran thing, because it's like Joey Beltran is such an iconic name.
Yeah.
Sounds so good, like all on its own. Like people, like it just comes off the tongue, you know? And I think, you know, people might be a little hard to, but I mean, we tried, we made a valiant effort. Like we told everyone our stance, you know, I wanted to be Britain Beltran. I definitely was adamant about that. But, you know, it seems like, I guess that we, you know, we've gotten a great kind of mix where people will add it to it. And I said, if anything, you know, I make it my new nickname instead of being the 9.0. So it kind of makes sense that way. But he's definitely Joey Beltran. He'll be that the day he dies.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And of course, that question was all joking because I knew better. But it was just fun to ask. You know, sometimes you got to ask those silly questions at a press conference. It breaks everybody down. It's like, oh yeah, we're just here. It's just a moment, you know. So opponent change pops up for you. You take it in stride. We've discussed that. You go out there and you win your fight. How did it feel when they announced and knew? You know.
You know, I honestly say like, oh, you know, it was the first time I had that real time scoring. I've never had that before. And I remember watching lots of fights and being like, oh man, I wish I could have that. It would just be so much better. And because I had that, you know, it is and it isn't, because I knew I was winning without a doubt in my mind. And you know, there's a lot of times we have fights and we know we're winning, but you still have that like feeling deep in your chest, like you don't know what these judges are smoking, you don't know. You just don't know. And like until you hear your name, it's just really never, you're never safe, because there's highway robberies everywhere. So with this real-time scoring, I think because that feeling, you know, and that's incredibly important, is this feeling, it never really got to build, you know, because I knew, I was like, oh, we won that one. Oh, we won that one. And you know, I really like don't even okay, let me think how to phrase this. So you know, it's very easy for fighters who know they're winning to kind of like coast through the rounds, because why risk the damage, you know? And I've definitely had that strategy before, and I don't think it's a bad strategy, you know, but I know some people will kick back with the, you know, oh, it's a boring fight or blah, blah, blah. And so when I went to the corner in the fourth, after the fourth round, so leading in the fifth, you know, my corner's like, you won all the rounds, but you need to go out there. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, like this girl like is still continuing, so strong and so much heart to not quit. I know her face is cut up. I'm just like, you know, my hands hurt. And I'm like, you know what? This is the extra. This is me really leveling up and not just cruising through. This is me to show the world that I'm fighting for this no matter what. And then I have so much more room to get better. And that I have this, you know, insane ability to listen to everybody. And so I went out to the fifth round and, you know, I still like kept the pace picked up, but I knew I won. So it was just like at the end of it, it was being, you know, maybe like it's like I never say I really want to be humble, because we all might use that as a great word, right? Like, oh, she should be more humble, or oh wow, you're so humble. It's always meant to be a compliment. But if you look up the definition of being humble, it actually means lacking low importance. And I always like don't want to do that, because I think it's very important to know that we're all important, and the person who should believe that the most is yourself about you. So I always try to kind of present myself like that, but it might rub people the wrong way. So in this aspect, you know, I was really thinking about it, and I was like, you know, this girl took the fight on the 3 days notice. You know, I already knew I won. And really, what would it be like to be like real champion behavior and just be like, I knew this was coming. You know, it was kind of like back in my old days in soccer, we'd score a goal and I'm that person that's like, yeah, victory dance. You know, I want a chest bump. Like I want all that. Like that's still always going to be me. But I have been with teams before. They're like, where coaches will drill you and be like, no, we don't do that, because that's acting like you're surprised you won. You know, you go through and you act like it's part of the business. I don't really like that approach, but it's kind of what I took this time and felt it out, be very humble about it. And I think, it came with a great satisfaction, like it felt really good to just be at this level and be like, wow, I'm not like, like with the Paige Van Sant fight, like, oh my God, like the sheer adrenaline rush of winning that fight. But it does feel good. But I will say what felt better was the things that come with it after, not winning the belt, but more so like hugging that girl Peyton who was fighting childhood cancer, who's sitting ringside, to going to other people and like from hearing you, like those are the things that feel better than that moment in that ring, if that makes sense.
No, that makes 100% sense, and I totally get that. The open scoring, the real time scoring, I don't like it. Because of part of the reason of what you said, that some fighters will coast. Yeah, but the other reason that I never even brought into my head was what you said, that you kind of already knew. So it took some of that fucking moment away from you in essence. And I like that you go into the fight not knowing, that means you always got to keep your foot on the gas. You can't let up. That's championship fighting behavior. So the fact that you stayed in it in that last round and, you just fought anyway, you kept up your pace the whole time, even though your hands hurt. And you did. So I respect that, because there's a lot of fighters who probably wouldn't have. And it's not because they're not great fighters, but it's because, why overexert? Why? It's almost like in Little League Baseball, they'll stop the game. They won't let you run up the score on the other team. If it's like 11-0 in the first inning, they're going to stop the game because they don't want to damage the mental of the kids,
Right.
So when you're up 4-0, I understand the respect factor you have for an opponent, where why do I have to overdo it? Why do I need to do that extra? But I still like seeing the extra. I like to see, from bell to bell, go all the way, go in, go hard, and go out there and fight the way you're supposed to fight. Because, if you don't know the score, that's how you're going to fight. So I don't like the open scoring thing. And, the reason people like open scoring is because they say, well, it's going to make the judges. And I'm always like, make the judges what? The only thing open scoring does is just show me which judges are stupid fucking earlier in the fight. Don't know what they're doing.
Fair.
I mean, open scoring doesn't change how a guy's going to judge a fight. It just changes the fact that we know they don't know what the fuck they're looking at. So it's
Yeah. I guess there might be like some instances where they like judges will change their numbers. Maybe, I don't really know, but I definitely see it as, like I said, on the outside looking in, I thought it was super cool. But now that I've been there, I do see like I said, it's kind of an advantage for sure, but also, it's like, it does take that like extra excitement, extra adrenaline out to where, I think with the fans, they probably like the extra celebration and the extra adrenaline of their face when they win. Like, oh my God, but yeah, so, but yeah, I honestly would say, for me, it was to my corners, definitely shout out to, Ryan, Joey, and Pink Tyson. She was the one who really said and made me not, coast and go like, hey, even when I didn't really want to, or I didn't feel it was necessary, it was having good corners like that know what everyone wants. Because I thought really my first round was the best when I look back and watch the fight, but my whole team and most everyone else, they're like, no, your fifth round was awesome. And I'm just like, but it was only because I had great people in my corner that pushed me to get you guys all that. And so I was really thankful to have that.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm glad that they pushed you. I'm glad that they made you fight, because you know what? Knowing you now over the years and talking with you multiple times, I think you still would have enjoyed the victory, but I think you would have been mad at yourself in some degree, going, man, why didn't I fucking finish that fight the way I could, and you're tough on yourself. Anytime I've talked to you, you know that your toughest critic is your own brain. It isn't other coaches. It isn't other fighters. It isn't the fans. You're harder on yourself probably sometimes than you need to be, but it's what works for you. So you do that. So I think you would beat yourself up if you didn't beat her up in the 5th round. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you did it all the way around. I just wish, like I said, the open scoring thing, because listen, Jeff Houston's got a big booming voice, and when he announces your name, you feel it,
Yeah.
And so even though even though you already knew you won, I still know that had to be a cool moment just hearing a new 115-pound champion or world BKFC champion. I don't even remember how he says it, but I know that still just had to give you another boost of adrenaline. And I'm glad that you got to hear that. Now, the next fight coming up for you, we don't know yet. Jenny Savage definitely wants a piece of you. There's a few other girls I'm sure want their shot at you. Christine and I were talking about, even Taylor maybe needs to go down to 115, and then somebody brought up Jenny versus Taylor in a number 1 contenders fight. I think that would be the way either one of them can earn a shot at you. And I know you've got a fight against Jenny already. You've got a victory over her. So her being next doesn't make sense in my book. She has to go out there and win. And I think Taylor coming down after what happened with her and Christine would be the smart move for her to come down. And because I think she'd probably be fit better naturally at 115 than 125, my opinion. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong. But I think that would be an exciting fight for the fans, and I think that could be billed as a legitimate number 1 contender fight. What's your thoughts on that kind of a setup?
Really at this point, I have strong personal beliefs and feelings on it, but I'm learning with this new title.
Hold on one second. Guys, just want to let you know, I just got a message from Chris Barnett. He's stuck in the air traveling. So he's not going to make it tonight. I know he was supposed to be on last week. He was supposed to be on this week, but for you guys that are staying tuned in, I hope you stay tuned in to listen to me talk more with Britain, but Chris is not going to be here, and it's not his fault. It's Southwest Airlines' fault. It says it right here. So I just wanted to pass that along to you guys. And that sucks because I was looking forward to it, but life happens sometimes. So anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I think it's just best to move on, honestly, from that question.
Oh, from that question about who's next?
Yeah, I think that, really at the end of the day, I'm still Britain and I fight whoever is in front of me. And I just don't think, I really call the shots. There's really nobody, the only really one I need to get back at is Christine. And really my interest is not to move at 125 right now. I mean, I could, but I really don't want to. My weight class was this weight class. I've said it from the beginning. I've always had this personal when I've seen other people say I'm going to be the 115 champ, and I'm like, I would wreck 115. You guys just don't even know. So I really want to own that. I think, you got to look at this athletes jumping weight classes is really not healthy long run. You got gain a bunch of weight, put on a bunch of muscle, then coming back down. Your body's always changing. I really think if they're going to keep the 115 class, I would like to own it for a little bit. Yeah. I think I'm really competitive. I think if I stick at it, I have the skills to beat Christine. And for me to get the size to beat her is really all I need. And with that comes with maybe a 4 to 6 month regimen to gain the muscle and the size that I would need. And, that might be something down the road. Again, we just fought in February. So I look at it let's give it some time and space, respecting the 125 belt that she has. I don't really like when people go into too many rematches too quick. So let's give it a minute. I love 115. And again, if the boss man said, hey, no one's going to fight Christine, she's just sitting here chilling. Well, I'm right here. So I'm never running away. I'm not dropping in a weight class. I'm not fleeing from anything. Here I am. But to me, you know, it's got to make sense in the long run. Like, I'm not going to be dumb and call someone out that is really just like, I love where I'm at right now. Like, I'm so happy. I can't even express to you how happy I am. I have the best husband. I have the best friends, the best family, the best dogs. I have a belt now. I'm doing big things with my life. Like, I'm here. Like, sign me up. Who wants to fight me next? I don't care. But getting in like who I think I should, you know, yeah, I really have nothing to say on these other girls because I'm trying not to say, you know, if you don't have anything positive to say, don't say it. So I'm going to keep my negative feelings to myself on them. I think that my mental space was occupied by Fanny for 5 weeks. So I think if anything, you know, I would really love to go to Thailand, like to make sure she doesn't have any problems coming over here to the USA. I would love to go and fight. And I don't know what they're going to do, like unify the belts together or if it's a separate one. And I can be the Thailand champ too. Like, I'm down for like world domination, like on a good, peaceful, loving, you know, manner. But, you know, I would love that. And, you know, I know they signed this girl named, I think like Felice Herrig.
Elise Herrig.
Yeah, and so I would assume she looks kind of like 115-ish, but again, people aren't realizing how many fights. Like, it's going to be hard to match me and Christine. It really is, because Christine's sitting at 8 fights and I'm sitting at 9, which I would like to say, like, that's a shout out to both of us. Personal shit aside, like, big freaking shout out to both of us, because there's probably 75% of the BKFC roster that have under 3 fights. And then the other 25% is, you know, 3 and more. And we're sitting at 8 and 9. So I'm like, you know, I have the most bare knuckle fights out of any female right now. So when you have these people come in, I like it because it's like cool because they're UFC and they're big names, they have big followings, and it makes sense on a promotional level. But I also don't like it because, like what happened with Paige Van Sant, I think she's a great athlete and great opponent, and that win was huge. And she fought Rachel and lost, who Rachel's also UFC and high top performing athlete. She was no joke. She was a hard opponent. And
Yep.
so, you know, Paige just really got the short end of the stick. You know, I'm a diamond in the rough, and Rachel's already, you know, chiseled out to be the shining star she is. So now when people see that I fought Paige, who's 0-2, they're like, oh, well, that girl sucks. She's not good. So Britain got a tomato can. And I'm like, wow, like, you know, no, that was just really excellent matchmaking at its finest. And just people just don't know what I'm really made of and how tough I am and what I've given to learn the skill set that I have and being just naturally tough. But I don't like that people take that win away from me now. Like, I don't think people think it's that cool. And it kind of sucks for me because they're like, oh, Paige sucks. And I'm like, damn, she really doesn't, you know? And that's why we got to be careful as athletes when we like are fighting someone. You know, when we talk about the other fighter and we're like, oh, they suck and they're not good. Well, when you beat them, it means nothing. So it's kind of like just downplaying your own skills instead of being like, man, I'm fighting someone tough, but I'm going to be the tougher girl in there. Or I don't know, however you want to spin it. But, you know, I'm never out there saying my opponents suck or anything like that. I might have personal beef with them and want to punch them in the face because. But on a skill level, I respect everyone's skill level in that, and not saying that they suck or they're garbage, because at the end of the day, what does that say when I beat garbage?
Right.
So I look at that with these new girls coming in. It's like, yeah, I could be like, sign me up. I want those names. I want that publicity. I want that clout chasing. But I really don't, because it's a negative too, because when I beat them, then everyone's just going to be like, oh, they suck. And I'm like, I would rather them build up, get to like how Taylor was and 3-0, and then take my crack at them and have like that. Almost why I was super happy with Teresa, because I think people were being like really negative with me and Fanny because she only had that one fight, not knowing that that girl's a athlete and that she's like over 70 Muay Thai fights, which is like, again, just you have to be on a different level to get to that point. But I was happy with the change because of how the fans perceived it. And the fans were like, oh, here's someone who has 4 or 5 fights in bare knuckle. And so beating Charissa gave me more respect for not only her, but for myself, that I beat someone who's been in bare knuckle. And not only that, Charissa hasn't fought, Charissa's fought good people and, has held her own and stayed in it. So I really liked that piece of it. So whether I can say, hey, I just want to chill and, be the champ for 6 months and let this 115 kind of build themselves up, get their feet wet a little bit, and then jump back in, that would be cool. But, I'm still a fighter at the end of the day. And if, that phone I think I told you and everybody that I'm done for 2022 after that Beck fight. I was like, I need a mental cleansing, a mental vacation. Like, I just need to be done. Like, I can't do this again until 2023. What? I was home for 2 weeks, did not ask for this title fight, did not ask for a fight, period. Let me just put that out there to everybody. I've not asked for any fight besides the Paige fight. This is the only fight I've ever asked for in my life. And I had to beg for that fight and work and make like mean videos just to get it. But other than that, I've never asked for a fight. Here I am, 2 weeks at home, done for 2022, phone calls. And I'm like, yeah. So again, here I am. But yeah, I'm just happy doing what I'm doing right now. I don't want to like call anybody out. I don't have any names, and really at this point in time, it's all kind of like, bring it on, just bring it on.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think Fanny is the next fight. I think because that was the fight that was supposed to happen. I love the idea of you going to Thailand to go to do a fight. I think as somebody who's been there and, has as many fights with BKFC as you do, and you've traveled all over for them, but now it's time to take you on the road internationally and let you get that fight over in Thailand, not just for the fight itself, but for some of the experience you can gain by going over to Thailand, and just learn a few things while you're there, maybe after your fight, take a week there and then go do some stuff with Fanny, some of the stuff like, because I think that's the way that fight would go down. I don't think there's any bad blood. I don't think there'd be any negative crap with that fight at all. You girls would just go out there and fight. So I like that idea. But I like that as your next fight and to line up, if I'm playing promoter, to line up your next fight after that, based on, I'm looking at it as, all right, well, Britain's going to go out there and win this fight. So I got to have another fight lined up, for somewhere down the future. I like the idea of Taylor and Jenny fighting for an opportunity to fight you. I don't think either one of them should be next for you. I think Fanny's the next one because she didn't back out of this fight because she was hurt or injured. She had visa issues, and that's all it was. She was all game in on this fight. I think the way it came out, it sucks for her that she lost this opportunity. So I know you, respect that about her. It wasn't, she didn't pull out. She wasn't scared. She wasn't injured. She just travel shit, and that's out of her control. So I think, like you even mentioned it, running it with her, I was going to say running it back, but you didn't get her to run it in the first place. So running it with her makes the most sense to me, and doing it in Thailand makes the most sense for me to send you there as an American BKFC fighter, go over there and, light to join up, bring that feeling with you that you always have, bring your feeling overseas, international. It's coming overseas.
Yes. And I just want to say, I think Fanny is a great person and a great fighter. So she reached out to me too, and we shared personal messages back and forth. So yeah, utmost respect. It's just, part of how it goes. And, it does make sense with her being, a champion. She's had the gold around her already. So I think it would be really the best one to do. I do want to put out there though, because I'm not sure, because I wasn't aware that it was a visa issue. I was thinking it was like a vaccine thing. So like, just kind of like
that might be all in the same lump, like, vaccinations and visa issues. So, cause that's what I heard. So,
yeah. And I just want to put like my personal beliefs, so anyone knows if things don't happen, I'm really strong. And everyone is entitled to their own opinion and their own beliefs, and I totally support them. And if they want to go get vaccinated, like, so super cool. But I personally will never get vaccinated. The only way I could get vaccinated if you said, one of my family members was going to die. And in that case, then I would do it. But other than that, like, to me, and you know, a lot of people are like, well, we're professional athletes. If we're required to be vaccinated, that's just what we have to do. That will be the day I stop being a professional athlete. I'll find a place to still fight in America or somewhere that doesn't require it. So I'm not really sure. So before I get too like, I'm coming over to Thailand to take
Of
over,
course.
but I just want to make sure that people know I would love to go over there. I really want the experience. My stance on not being vaccinated is super strong. So I hope that that allows and things ease up on that end, because I was shocked to hear that was the reason. Because I didn't think it was really required to come, but whatever. I don't know the whole scope of it. I'm not going to put words.
I mean, you can't go to Canada unless you're vaccinated, for Christ's sake.
Oh,
I
man,
mean,
I'm from Canada, and oh, she's gonna have to come here. But yeah, so much. But yeah, just super non-vaccinated.
hey, I'm the same way. Listen, I have the same thought process. Plus, I have recommendation from a doctor not to get vaccinated because I have heart issues, and some of these vaccinations have caused some inflammation of the heart, and I already got heart problems. Why add another variable into my heart? I mean, fucking just doesn't make any sense. I don't think it was tested enough. I think it came out too soon. I know personally 3 people that were vaccinated multiple times and died after they were vaccinated. So I just have no faith in it. But we're not going to get into a whole political thing. But I'm on the same page with you. I don't believe in it, and if it means I can't go on a cruise ship, then guess what? I'll stay on dry land. I don't give a fuck.
Right. Same.
Amen.
Yep.
So, and like I said, and so for all you people out there, we just brought up the idea of her going to Thailand. Doesn't mean she's going. And you heard her say it herself. If she has to get vaccinated to go, then Fanny's gonna have to come over here and do the fight here. And that'll be the way it is. And the BKFC was going to book it before, so if she can get over here, I'm sure they'll book it again. I'm excited to see that fight. Honestly, I think that's a really cool matchup for both of you. Like you said, she's got so many Muay Thai fights. She brings a unique style to bare knuckle. And it's people say, oh, well, what style? It's go out there and punch somebody in the face or punch somebody in the, but there is a style to it, and they don't understand that this isn't just barroom brawling, So, as you people out there get educated more, you'll understand that their styles still make fights, and styles still make fights in BKFC, because it isn't just winging a punch. I mean, anybody can wing a punch, but everybody can't place a punch strategically.
Totally. And you see it, like, if you just kind of pay attention to like people and just make your guess, you can tell if someone is a MMA background, a boxing background, or a Muay Thai. It's very, I mean, I can see it right away. Yep. And I think it's really cool because it changes the looks. You never like, when you watch boxing, usually, unless someone's a little bit unorthodox, it's definitely very like simultaneous styles. And same way with MMA, like they just do different little things that you pick up on when you start to watch, and it's really cool. I'm like super advocate and like love bare knuckle for that reason, because I really feel like it's a place where all the fighters can come and may the best win. Where boxers might not do good in MMA because they're not used to all that stuff. MMA people aren't going to be good at boxing, and vice versa with Muay Thai being into they all got their little kinks, but bare knuckle really, I think, kind of evens it up.
It does. I love bare knuckle. Like, the first one I saw when I went up to Mississippi the first time, I fell in love with it immediately. I like walked in there, I could hear the crack on the bone. And even though it's like a sound, it's like a yeah sound. Like, oh shit, this is so fucking dope. You can hear the fucking people's head crack, and you can hear the knuckles fucking banging. And you can see the true heart of a combat sport athlete, because there's nothing else. Your submissions can't save you. Knees can't save you. Nothing can save you except this.
Right.
And that's it. When David Feldman refers to this as the purest form of combat sport, it really is. Because all the other things were added in, so in MMA, you got, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, grappling, fucking, Muay Thai, fucking Taekwondo, karate, fucking boxing, all melded into this one sport that allows all these different variables. But for me, the pure form is just man or man, or man versus man, woman versus woman, with just this right here. No other weapons are available to your use except this. And you really have to use this to get these and this in sync to go out there and win fights, because it isn't just, who's the bigger puncher. Maybe in the heavyweight division that happens a little bit more, but even our heavyweights at BKFC, I mean, your husband isn't just a big puncher. He's got power, but he isn't just a big puncher. He fights a style, and he has a style. Our champ, Arnold Adams, he has a style about him. Bobo Bannon, we just had on the show. His style is, I'm going to run forward and make you fucking break your hand on my fucking head, and then I'm going to knock you out. I mean, it's a style. But for the most part, I would say the where you can get away with being a little less technical sometimes is in the heavyweights, because of the power that comes with a heavyweight punch. In your weight class, that doesn't happen. And definitely at 115. At 125, that doesn't happen. The bigger weight classes, there's more opportunity for that to happen. So I love, like I said, I've watched you for a long time now, and all your BKFC fights, and you've evolved into a really fabulous fighter. I see improvements every single time. So that's what you're supposed to do. So, you're doing it right, kid. Doing it right.
Thank you. And it's just so exciting because I really, like I said, I tell everyone, like, you guys really haven't still seen the best of me. Like, I know, I don't really want to put it out there for the world to hear, but I know what my mistakes were and the challenges in the last fight. I know I was nowhere near perfect, but it was so cool. Like, Joey was like, you were like the Lord of the Rings elf in there. I was like, that's so cool to hear. Like, but I love hearing that. But even though people might perceive me as this magical elf, but in my heart, I know when I feel like I'm firing on all cylinders, and I haven't quite done that yet. So I'm just really still excited. That's what I said. I'm excited to test myself against different opponents. I feel like for me, it's a real true level up to fight people that are from, different countries. I think that's really cool. And I love that. I'm always super excited. Just because, it just brings two worlds together under one common roof for just a temporary situation. And yeah, I think it's really cool. So I hope that that's kind of where the new levels, and you guys will still see me evolve, because I'm telling you, like, I felt like I looked really good when I watched the fight back on TV. But in my heart, I know that I was missing a lot of things. And so I'm like, damn, we went to the gym today and worked on it. So we're always working. It's so cool that I'm married to someone who just loves me and supports me so much. And I just have this whole team around me too. And really every day I hear it from someone that, wow, you're inspiration or you're evolving. It just gives me that more, like, it's like that positive reward that you do for dogs, and you keep wanting it. Like, I still want this. Like, I don't want this to be our last conversation where you're like, wow, you look better. Like, I want to hear that again. Like, I want to talk to you every time and be like, wow, you were even better, until I just don't know how great I can be.
Well, you'll be as great as you're supposed to be at the end of the day, and as long as you continue to put in the work and try to be this much better tomorrow than you were today, then life will be fine, and your fighting career will evolve into that. I don't want you to go back to 125 at all right now. I stay at 115. Like you said, you just got there. They just opened up this division. Make it fucking, for me, if I'm you, I would stay in 115. And I would beat everybody up at 115 that they gave me. And I would set a fucking record that, others would want to fucking strive to achieve for later on down the road, because records are made to be broken. So, set the bar high for the next one. That's what I would do. That's what I would want to do. Like, I think Christine, right now, I think that's what Christine is going to end up doing at 125. I think, you found your home, and, you've, like you said, you've always said 115 is really where you should have been in the first place, but, you wanted opportunities. So you took the ones that were there instead of bitching, because you could have bitched, but it wouldn't have done you any good. You could have went to another bare knuckle promotion that might've done 115, but it's not the same it's not the same. It's not the same as where you are now. You are the preeminent. You are, for lack of a better term, you are fighting for the UFC of bare knuckle. You know what I mean? Bare knuckle is that, for bare knuckle fighting. There's other promotions out there, but they're not on your level. They're not on the level of BKFC. A lot of people watch the other stuff. I don't watch it. I don't like the production value. I don't like the matchups. I don't like the bookings. BKFC is where it's at for me. I've watched all these other shows. Just nobody else does it that way. So, that's it. Let's see, there's some stuff here. This is.
Yeah, he's back.
There's mom, right? That's your mom, right, Monica?
Yep.
Throwing out some hearts to you.
Stinky.
Stinky puppy.
Oh, God.
Do you have 2 of those now?
Yes, I do. This is little Louie. He's He's like only 4 months old.
He's adorable.
He is. Come here, you.
This is the one that's Joey's girl.
No. It's the opposite. Louie, the boy is Joey's. This one is definitely mine. She is like super about her mama, huh?
I don't know, man. I've seen the both of you. I've seen you guys together with the dog, and that dog is just sitting in Joey's arm like he gave birth to it.
Yeah, she goes with it. They stay with us everywhere, really. But I would say, honestly, Joey would agree with you that Margot's definitely mine, and Louie is more his.
I love you, kid. I just do. I love that you stay positive. I love that you've, just grown into the fire that you become. I love that you were given the opportunity to become a champion at your natural weight class. Finally, after all these, these times and the years that have gone by with BKFC. And I'm glad that you are experiencing all this. Like I said, you've worked hard, and you've continued to be a good representative for BKFC, for yourself, for your family. I think I saw a post from you where you were really appreciative of David Feldman because of the opportunity provided for you, and now you have this whole life. You have a championship belt. You have a husband that you found through BKFC. You have so much to be grateful for about BKFC because it didn't just become a career for you; it became your life, your family, everything that the success you're enjoying right now, the happiness. Boom. So, congratulations on all of it. Don't cry.
I know.
I see you tearing up a little bit. Don't cry. Well, you can cry if you want to. I've cried on my own show before. It's okay. Because I know it's tears of happiness, so, and you've always been real about your feelings on here. And you've always been cool coming on my show. So I love having you. I love seeing you be happy. And I'm glad. I'm glad for you. I'm glad for your family. On both levels, personal and professional, because I know you needed to fucking find that balance, and it seems that you really have it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and hold on, and shout out from Planet Hank. He just said, "What's up?" He fucking goes, "What's up, motherfucker?" Planet Hank in the motherfucking house. I love him. He's funny.
Yes, funny indeed.
Oh, he's a trip. He cracks me up. So, speaking of that. Do you pay attention to any of this patrolman guy?
I don't know why that sounds familiar, but it sounds familiar to me. I just can't really quite put my finger on it right now.
He is the number one troll, I think, that trolls everything in BKFC because he does it behind a hidden identity. So if you pay attention to any of the groups, he's always popping up in there. Read his stuff. He's funny as fuck.
I can't tell. Is he a fan of me or no?
It depends on the day, I guess. When he sees something that bothers him, he says it. He doesn't hold back, and because nobody knows his true identity or her true identity, we don't know. I personally think patrolman is like 3 or 4 different people in conjunction because I see tones in the writing of certain people I know, and I'm like, but you just don't know. So he had a whole different thing. And then there's guys like Planet Hank who don't care what people think of him. He just goes out there and says what he says. Like fucking, whew, he's a trip, that one. I love him to death, though. He highly entertaining to me, and he don't give a fuck, and I like that. So,
Yep. I think, at the end of the day, as long as you don't change it, you keep it, whatever your personality is, if it's, down, middle, high, as long as you keep it there, to me, I can have a lot of respect in that and learn to love and appreciate that. And just don't like when people do this. That's my only pet peeve when I get with these internet people.
yep. And Peyton is enjoying listening to you, champ. So Wesley wanted to pass it on to you. And
look, I still have my bracelet on.
Still has the bracelet on.
Yeah.
And then there's a message from this guy, Joey Beltran. He goes, wow, is that girl a model? She's so hot.
Oh, he still makes me blush, Ollie. This is good.
And he's just like in the other room too. Fucking, that's what I love. Fucking, I love Joey. I love you guys. I love you guys as a couple. You're the BKFC power couple. And it's good stuff, and he's been the champ. You are a champ. We don't know.
That is something funny. Oh my gosh, you'll love this.
Okay.
So Joey, it was also a big inspiration to winning the belt, because we don't do like weirdo stuff. We really don't. But he said, when you win the belt, our Christmas card. So if anybody wants a Christmas card from us, make sure you send me a message, give me your address. But we need to find a photographer to take these pictures of us with our belts on, but just our belts, popping bottles of champagne. And that's going to be everybody's Christmas card. So if they don't want one, don't send me your address. But I'm super pumped. I think it's going to be something super fun for me and Joey to do.
So you mean nothing on but the belt. So naked, but the belt covering?
Yep, you got it.
Well, I mean, for Joey, it's easy. He's only got to cover one area. What are you going to do?
I'm going to have to. I'm small. I'm sure I'll hide behind that one belt. It's pretty big.
Yeah, it's a good sized belt, and you're a 115er. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out the logistics now.
See, that's
fun. Oh wait, actually,
interested.
You could, yeah. I'll have to get a card. I'll have to get one of those Christmas cards now. We'll put it around the wall.
Yeah, we have super fun ambitions. And I announced today on Facebook too, me and Joey are actually going over to England. So how freaking cool. Again, I can't even believe
when
all my dreams coming true. October 10th through the 18th.
And your mom said she don't need a card, by the way. So mom don't want that Christmas card.
Oh, okay. It's going to be a cool one.
What are you heading over to England for?
We're actually coaching and cornering Brandon Lambert for his fight over there.
So that was the secret. I didn't even know the secret got dropped. I didn't know who it was going to be when he said to me who's going to be in his corner.
Yeah. So we're really excited. I think it's really great. We've had history with Brandon. We've actually, I trained with him down in Puerto Rico, and he let me and Joey stay in his house. So super awesome and nice getting to know him. And then just miraculously, he showed up at KO Zone when we were training there. When I was training for my fight, it was super motivating and supportive. So it was really, like I said, at the end of the day, it was all love and great. And then hearing that he was going over to England, there was some complications about it. And I was like, yo, me and Joey are bomb ass coaches and fighters. We'll go with you. And now it's just you can see. And I mean, shout out to Joey being as amazing and great coach as he is. And we're just really willing to help anybody and really grow and take that, not half-ass, oh, yeah, we'll go with you, whatever. So it's really cool to see what we do over there. I'm really excited about it. I really just can't wait just to have this experience and journey. And man, it's work too. But hey, at the end of the day, what the motto should be to everybody is find something you love so much that it's never work. And that's really how I feel about my life. I love it so much that I can go to the gym and train 6 to 8 hours, do interviews, go and visit high schools, go and do recovery. I could do all this stuff, and still just love it because I really truly found something that has never worked to me.
That's awesome. Again, just happy for you, kid. You're fucking hustling, you're grinding, you're putting in the work, and your dreams are, being lived every day. So that's fucking awesome. That's what everybody wants in life. So we're all a little jelly.
Yeah, but trust me, like, again, so I can reiterate this. Not too long ago, I remember saying I wanted all these things, right? All these things. And you know what people responded back to me? Fairy tales don't exist, Britain. It was like clear as day. I can't even remember how many people, but it was a lot that said that exact phrase. Fairy tales don't exist. What you're looking for doesn't exist. What you're trying to accomplish is impossible. People actually said that to me like over and over. And we're like, to the point, like really, really mean. Kind of like, again, not getting too deep into it, but it's really the way I am now because I had so many people be so like just cruel, like really cruel to me.
You should thank every single one of them because that kind of negative talk somewhere inside drove you to get where you are. So you should thank them all instead of even being mad at them. Be like, thank you so much for telling me that fairy tale didn't exist. Thank you for telling me that I couldn't achieve this because now I've got it all and I appreciate it more.
Yep. And you know what's so wild about that? I remember having this drive and this passion and like literally rage inside me. I'm going to do this and I'm going to rub it in their faces. Like, I can't wait to get this belt and do this. I can't wait to take my husband and be like, my husband's better than yours and do like all these things were in my head in this moment of rage and years ago. And now it's like, now that it's here, it's just like this amazing freeing feeling. Like, I don't have to do that. And I haven't. And, even when the opportunities present itself, I'm like, I don't need to do that. I remember it though. Trust me, each and every person. And still there's a couple of people that still smile on my face and say it now. And I just, man, I'm just happy. I really am. And I don't need to rub it in anyone's face. Don't mean to make anyone jealous. I really just want to say that, like, man, the same things you guys were thinking, happy birthday, Coach Haas. I hope he's listening to this. He's like really seriously one of my first heroes that got me out of like a really dark place, like a super dark place. And he taught me so many things that I really, really, truly believe in and put into action to this day because of this man. But I remember crying to him. I was like, nobody's going to want to marry me. I don't cook. I don't clean. And I have a missing tooth. It's not going to happen for me. He's like, no. Believe it. You will find someone who's going to love you and worship you. Trust me. I'm like, nope. Nobody is going to be able to handle me or put up with me or love me the way I am. And boom, like, again, and Joey cooks, cleans, and doesn't mind my missing tooth. He helps me put it in and then some. So he just meets, like every aspect. And I really just wish I could like help and shout it out to the world for like girls that are being mistreated and being like domestic violence and being cheated on or being pressured to have sex and all that stuff. I wish I could just shout out, like, trust me, it is okay to say no because that right one, the one who you really want, is waiting for you. You just have to be away from the bad stuff to find them. And once you're away from all the people that distract you from what a really good man is, you see it so more, and it makes just so much more sense, So anyways, I just wish I could say so many things and share about my personal life that, like you said, I believe every word of how I deserve this and earn this because at the end of the day, I know what fire I had to walk through. I know what beds I had to sleep in. And I can honestly tell you, I did everything the right way. And it hurt. It hurt. And it was painful to do it that way. But now that I know that I'm here, I didn't lie, cheat, or steal, do anything manipulative to get here. I didn't quit. I didn't give up. And when the whole world had its back against me, I found one shining light that made me make it possible.
That's beautiful. Just freaking beautiful. That's all I can say about that. I always love chatting with you. It's always good stuff. I get my feelings a lot. So, but I've kept you away from your family and everybody for over an hour now, so I don't want to keep you any longer. I'm glad, like I said, you already know how I feel. I'm glad. I'm proud of you. You never, jumped off the path and went, and gave up on yourself. You stayed true, and then the door opened up. You jumped on the opportunity, and you made the most of it. That's what you're supposed to do in life. So, congratulations on all the success, professionally and personally.
Thank you.
Before you go,
Yeah.
you want to shout out all your sponsors that you need to shout out and all that stuff, or is there too many to list?
Yeah, for this camp, Ray Neff has been somebody who's been behind me and DM building over in California on the west side. I have Miami Healthy Kitchen that really I'm still walking around at 119, so I feel super great on how I feel. And I'm really just kind of I actually really miss eating like that. It felt way better. So I need to call them up again and be like, all right, we got to still make this happen, even though I'm not in fight camp. Blackheart Vape on Coffee in Great Falls, Montana. They were super amazing friends to me before I fought. When they found out I was in Montana, they jumped on it. When I went up there to visit them, they treat me and I brought my friends with so much just, oh my God, it was amazing how they treat us there in the shop. Seriously, family. So I can't thank Frankie and Kelly enough for that experience, not only sponsor me, but really being friends and growing in a family sense. And then Not Fit is just an amazing protein BCAA. If you need pre-workout, they always have my back on that. And then really, again, my team, Ryan Perez, Joey Beltran, Kalia Karuni, aka Pink Tyson, aka my Pinky, was super power for me in this camp. Sparring partners like Maureen Shea. I mean, gosh, talking about full circle. She used to train over with Coach Haas, who's his birthday today. She was such an incredible sparring partner for me, along with Pinky and Speedy and Alyssa, my Miami family. It's just so many people that are involved. I want to say thank you to the people I just said, and Coach Luck, who's still here in Danville, who we have an amazing time set out tomorrow with all the schools we're visiting to inspire some of the youth around here. I promise you guys, you are all when I go into that ring, I am a reflection of the love, time, and support these people give to me. And the more I have it, the more I shine, is because that's how much love they're pouring into me. So just thank you so much. I can't wait for what's next. And always love talking to you. Thank you. I'm super happy to be your 115 champ. And I will continue to be for a long, long time.
That's what we like to hear. All right, listen, champ, you go enjoy the rest of your night. Tell your husband, the champ, I said hello. And all that good stuff. And we will talk again soon, hopefully with the new fight announcement. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe that Thailand thing will happen. I would love to see it for you.
Yes, me too. Hopefully 2023. We never know. I'm man, I guess I'm fine. Hard to see that I was even in a fight. Jeez, but
wait, what's that? Oh, the Britain again on 2022? Son of a bitch,
Here we go again. It's a wild ride, but I freaking love it. So
absolutely. And we love seeing you. We love seeing you love it because it shows in your fights. And we always appreciate it. So you have a great night. Thank you for taking the time as always. Blessings.
Love you guys. Mwah.
Boys and girls, that was the champ, Britain Hart Beltran. What a night, man. I had two champions on the show. I had Bobo Bannon sandwiched in there as well. Great show. I'm sorry that Chris Barnett couldn't make it. It's not my fault. I can't do anything about travel and stuff like that. But, we just got to fucking let it happen the way it does. So I'd like to say thank you for joining us tonight on Capeside with Christopher James. I appreciate you guys being a part of my life today. And for allowing me to be a part of yours. It means everything right here in my heart. But that's it. Until next time, I am Christopher James, You guys have been Cage Side. We'll talk again soon. I'll be in Pensacola this weekend, Island Flight 74. Come join us for the fun, Pensacola Bay Center. Until then, peace.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Go with the deuces. There you go, baby.